Star 104.5 and Black Diamond AFL would like to thank the following sponsors for making it possible to hit the field week in and week out. Wilson Security. Wilson Security is Australia's largest and most innovative security provider. Prime 7. In 2014, Prime 7 has more footy on more nights, live and free. Newcastle Herald. The Newcastle Herald plays an integral part in the Hunter community. Star 104.5. Star 104.5 plays the music we all love and proudly supports Black Diamond AFL. BLK. BLK, the official apparel supplier to the Richmond Tigers, Western Bulldogs, GWS Giants, Adelaide Crows, Gold Coast Suns and Brisbane Lions. Belmont 16-Footers Sailing Club. Located on the picturesque Lake Macquarie, Belmont 16s is one of the premier venues in the Hunter region, offering the very best in dining, promotions and entertainment. GE Industrial Solutions, partnering with the mining community in the Hunter for the last 50 years, delivering safe and reliable electrical equipment and engineering services to our customers. Sports Coast Trophy and Embroidery. Sports Coast Trophy are the leading supplier of trophies and embroidery on the Central Coast. Waratah Sports. Waratah Sports has been specialising in sporting equipment, sporting apparel and trophies and medals on the Central Coast for over 20 years. Subway Morisset. Subway Morisset is open 7 days a week, breakfast, lunch and dinner.
Car 33, proceed to level 2, check on its service. Command, this is car 33, I'm going on my break.
Don't miss the Wilson Security Black Diamond AFL this weekend. Entry to all games is free. Check out the game times and venues at bdafl.com.au. Black Diamond AFL and Prime 7, your local AFL team.
Second half of finals action from Newcastle number 1. This is the first semi-final competed between the third-placed Killarney Vale Bombers and fourth-place Warners Bay Bulldogs. The winner of this match will play Terrigal Avoca next week in a knockout preliminary final. The loser today, their season's over. On paper, Nathan, another really even matchup.
Yeah, no, another even matchup. And as we just saw, the Newcastle City Blues going through to the grand final. So, yeah, as you said, the winner of this game will play Terrigal Avoca. We've already got another grand final matchup ready for next week, which is Nelson Bay and Newcastle City in the women's game. So, yeah, really looking forward to this game. It's been tight, close footy all day, so wouldn't expect anything less for finals, though. Yeah, really impressive games already today. If the standard of this match is anything like the standard of last one, it'll be fantastic in terms of the pressure and whatnot. Really impressed by Newcastle City. They're going to have to go into the grand final favourites now, I think. They'll have the week off. I think they got through the match unscathed in terms of their injuries. We did see Jackson Monk come off the ground a little bit hobbly, but we think that was just cramp late in the game.
But let's have a look at the two sides now for this matchup here, the knockout elimination final. As we go firstly with Killarney Vale. So looking at that side across the back line, Forster, Edwards, Shackleton, Mumford, Barrett and Brendan Lewis. Barrett and Lewis in particular, they're the two generals back there. Loved the year of Brendan Lewis. I think he's going to be a bit of a smoky for the Elliot Davey on Wednesday night. Across the centre of the ground, Debnam's a handy footballer. Dane Emity, the veteran, played in the grand final last year. Would love to get them over the line today. And Alex Bailey, who so often plays a defensive role for the side. He'll be on the other wing. Across half forward, you've got McLean, Ireland and Young. Full forward, Ford, Lloyd and King. Daniel Lloyd, a sensational year. Finished third in the goal kicking this year. He's just a spearhead forward, a great player. Gets the footy every time he goes near it. Starting on the interchange will be Daly, Higgins, McLean, Sinclair and Barrett. So a few changes going out of the side from their last home and away game last week. Let's have a look now at the Warners Bay Bulldogs, who played Cardiff a couple of weeks ago. Pretty much sewed up their position as being a final side this year in the top four. And across the fullback line, a lot of experience there with Burns, Lincoln Stewart's a great fullback, young Rowan Pfeiffer, Jake Roach, Crotty and Marn. Marn's had a terrific 2015 season. I'd be extremely surprised if he didn't feature in the team of the year this year. Turner's on a wing. Lockie Deverell will play centre and Buckley out on the other wing. Cross half forward, we have Quinn, Atkin, Prendergast. Atkin will do a lot of time in the ruck. And then full forward, it's Bartlam, Roach and Nickel. Playing on the ball today, we will have Crawley, Alex Metcalf, he'll maybe do a little bit of time in the ruck, and also Chris Avery. I really liked his game a couple of weeks ago against Nelson Bay. Going out of the side for Nelson Bay are Cam Earl, Lydon, Bly Parker and Rowan Pfeiffer. So Rowan Pfeiffer actually out of the team. Going into the back line, we'll probably see potentially Spinks in the 5 jersey go back there. So on paper, as we mentioned, Nathan, I think they're two really even sides. I don't see a clear winner here. I've probably liked the second half of the season more so for the Bulldogs. But just up forward, they've still got so much class. They'll be missing Rick White, certainly. But for me, I'm probably marginally just going to go the way of the Bulldogs today. What about you?
I admit I haven't seen much football from either team, but just having a look at the results, I think I might have to sway towards Warners Bay a little as well.
I think it'll be a really close game regardless. Important that we do thank Bar TV for putting on the production. Also our major sponsor, Wilson Security, and a great range of sponsors we do have. So captains going out into the middle now. Brendan Lewis and Anthony Atkin for Warners Bay. We saw in the previous game to the right of screen, that's the way the breeze was blowing. A lot more goals being kicked to that end, but Newcastle City on the day had more of the goals regardless. Brendan Lewis winning the toss. He's going to go that way to the right of screen. If there is a breeze, it's certainly just fluttering to that end. So should be a really good game of footy. Both these sides, the one that wins today, they'll back themselves going in next week. They'll be up against a wounded Terry Gulavoka, who were comprehensively beaten today by 4 goals all over the ground. But this should be a really good one, Nathan. I'm fired up for it.
Yeah, same here. And just to give a bit of an update, the player that went off for Terry Gulavoka, I can't remember his name. Aidan Warren, yeah. It was in fact a dislocated elbow. So yeah, doesn't look good. But we hope that he has.
Can you play with a dislocated elbow? Can you make a return?
I don't know. He may if he can pull through training during the week, but he may have to take a week out. And but you hope that he has a speedy recovery. So
absolutely. Bar TV, we're streaming all over the world today. Special shout out to a couple of Warners Bay fans and members. We've got Daniel Russell tuning in from London and Wayne Shuck tuning in from Sweden. G'day, boys. Jimmy Newburn was in my ear earlier today, making sure that we gave you a mention. So,
geez, it's a fair way away to be watching footy. But a great game like this. Why wouldn't you tune in from all the way around the world?
I assume it would be nice and early. So just about ready for a start here. Should be a really good game, this one. Elimination final, third playing fourth. Emity's going to start in the middle of the ground, as is Castelnuovo. I think it might be Sean Sinclair it is. Metcalf will be playing on him. Really good game of footy this one. Bartlam starting in the middle of the ground, as is Roach. Think it's going to be a really tight match. So Killarney Vale in their red and black outfit. They'll be going to the right of screen. Safe to say it's the scoring end today. The Bulldogs, they'll be going to the left. Winner will play Terrigal-Avoca next week in a preliminary final. Newcastle City through to the granny in 2 weeks' time. Umpires today, Ashley Borg, Jake Bateman and Stephen Bloom. Out in the boundary, it's Hickson, Macaulay and Rowett. And in goal, Tom Sullivan and Paul Best. So here we go, ready for a start. First touch will go the way of Warners Bay. They just scrub a little kick forward in the direction of Avery, but it was good pace there from Mumford, I believe, for Killarney Vale. The ball goes forward, though, forward. It goes over the heads of everybody. Was it touched? One behind. The first score of the day is going to go the way of Warners Bay. Gee, he's a good forward, Chris Avery. Watched him a couple of weeks ago.
That came a lot quicker than the other game.
Yeah, it was pretty quick the other game early on, but certainly towards the end there were some tired boys. And you can see the Warners Bay zone here. Looks pretty impressive. It's going a half-ground zone. So out of full-back. Drop mark down there was from Crawley. Alex Bailey was there. Got a free kick for being in the back. So Bailey usually playing a defensive role. Just chips it up in the air. Gee, it wasn't a great kick, really. Higgins was there. Dropped the mark. They're away, though. I think that was Ireland who just got the handball away. And Sinclair's also in there as well. And away go Killarney Vale. So they're getting first use of the footy. Just chipped over in the direction of Daniel Lloyd. Gee, he'd love a goal early. The bounce completely beat him all ends up. Got a shotgun bounce. Continues on. Stewart's in there. Away go Warners Bay through Marn. Through centre half back. And they look pretty good early. That's Prendergast. Prendergast goes out to centre wing. It's a kick to nobody in particular. And Tom Mumford takes it on the far wing. He's going to kick it to centre half forward, put it into a hot spot, and why wouldn't you? Big pack of players. Punch came from Stewart. Marn was down there. Good little blind turn from Ireland. Great footballer. Still one of the best in the competition. Out goes Marn again. Left-footed kick goes straight up in the air. Roach is there. Bailey's there. I think that might be Turner. Beg your pardon, it's Nickel. No, it's Deverill. Third time lucky. So now Roach wheels around onto his right side. Drills a pass. Geez, a lovely kick of the footy. He was looking for Buckley. Couldn't take the chest mark. Poor skill error there. Kicks it in. Marn again. He's already been in the action. Good little work there from Ryan King. Ball sort of bouncing around. No one getting any ascendancy. Umpire will have it. Ashley Borg. Plenty of stoppages in the first match today. Plenty in this one by the look of it as well.
Yeah, another tight contest. A few little skill errors. Players not being able to hold the mark.
Warners Bay winning that ruck contest quite convincingly. Sinclair was immediately tackled. Goes back to the skipper in Lewis. What a 2015 he has. Goes for Lloyd. Class. Daniel Lloyd leading Lincoln Stewart to the ball out there. Have a shot, Daniel. One of the best kicks in the league. Arguably the best. And I'd be very surprised if he doesn't go back and probably put this through at goalpost height. Yeah,
no, as we were saying before, it's not accurate 50s here, so he's probably kicking from about 45, maybe 44 at the least.
You watch this bloke kick a drop punt. Daniel Lloyd, terrific footballer. Kicks it from right on the paint. Oh, he's going to drop it short, is he? What have you done to me, Lloydie? Goes over the back, out of play, boundary throw in.
Would have made the distance if it was a bit more accurate, but...
So one plays 0 here, one behind to Warners Bay. 3 minutes gone, early stages. Preliminary final berth for the winner. Down there was McLean for Killarney Vale. Eventually ends up in the hands of Stewart. Liked his year as well. Kicks it out to centre half back. Emity was there, as was Prendergast for Warners Bay. But Debnam just switches play into the middle of the ground, and it was a pretty good kick. And already Sean Sinclair's been pretty active. He's got the footy about 55 out off a step. He just drills the pass. It was a good kick. Gee, Daniel Lloyd dropped an easy one. Just shoved his opponent off the footy. Comes back to Barrett, I believe. Brendan Lewis, the skipper, the fullback. Double turns. He's dropped the footy. That's holding the ball. Good decision. Good decision. And already Prendergast has had a fair bit of it, and it was a really good tackle out there. So Atkin, the skipper, drills the footy up the line looking for Avery. Good overhead mark taken by Avery. He's a classy footballer. Avery's going to deliver this to the half-forward flank, looking for Roach. Loved his game a few weeks ago against Nelson Bay. That's Luke Roach. I believe he might have juggled that one over the boundary line. We'll have a throw in.
Yeah, no, a few players unable to hold the footy up, hold the footy. Yeah, it could be nerves. You know, as we were saying before, the loser of this bows out, and so it's crunch time for both these teams.
Yeah, loser today. I'll be on Silly Sunday tomorrow. Mumford. Good punch over the top. I think it came from Roach. It did. It came from Jake Roach. Terrific left-handed fist. Another boundary throw in. Ball comes out into the middle of the ground. Taking the grab, I think, is Sinclair. No, I beg your pardon, it was Shackleton. Eventually falls over the back to Stewart. Just tapped it to no one in particular. Doing well down there. Daniel Lloyd put his head over the footy. Play on's the call. We heard a whistle. I think it was the netball courts. Little kick over the top, I think, came from Marn. It's going to go out of play. Nickel sees that one out of play next to Shackleton. So it looks like Lincoln Stewart's got the job on Daniel Lloyd. Massive job it is. Boundary throw in, half-forward flank here for the Bombers. Eventually comes down to Marn. Just read it beautifully. Right foot drop punt goes down to centre wing. He's looking for Avery. Good contest, but well done to Barrett. Took a strong overhead mark. Left his opponent. Now switches play out to the runner in Mumford. So Mumford streams through that hard surface. It's a very tough one. Roach is there back in the hole. Daniel Lloyd didn't really go at it. Sitting back there for Warners Bay was Burns. Just kicked it out there to no. I think he was after Roach. Brendan Lewis is in there. Stewart later tackled, and it was Shepherd, beg your pardon. It was a really good one. In the end, it's Turner who kicks. Mumford's going to get there first. He'll just fumble it over the boundary line. Still just the one behind to Warners Bay. 6 minutes played here.
Yeah, that clearing kick out of defence allows the players to set up again. We've got a throw in the middle of the wing, on the far wing. Warners Bay getting it out nice and easily.
Yeah, that's
kicks
Ireland.
Intercepted.
Geez, a good player, Jackson Ireland. Just has a bounce. Look at that. Leads his player to the footy. Ample time. Ends up handballing in the end. I hope they haven't overdone it here, the Bombers. They might have. So Warners Bay get the footy. They're going to kick it in the Buckley direction, just to centre half forward. It was a pretty good punch down there by Lenson.
Great.
The ball goes forward.
Great
Well, is
spot.
this going to bounce through?
That.
I think it is. First goal of the day goes to Warners Bay, and it's going to be courtesy of Scott Bartlam, I believe.
That was just a great goal. The pack went up. He hit the pack at speed, got the crumbs. Nice snap from about 40 metres out and kicks the goal.
Sensational play there from Scott Bartlam. So 7 plays 0 here. We saw in the first game, Newcastle City, they hit the scoreboard hard and early, and Terry Golovoka were constantly chasing tail. Getting a lead in a final is super important. Amity's in the middle now. Also in there's Castle Nouveau. Was he held? No. Play on was the call. Umpire's going to have it. I thought the first game was really well umpired. They let the game go. Hopefully we'll see the same here.
Yeah, no. That's all we asked for is consistency.
Eventually comes down to Sinclair, who's had a fair bit of the footy early. Ben Crawley's rucking really well for Warners Bay. Going back hard with the flight was Crotty. We're doing well as Jackson Ireland. Just doubles back. Look at the hips. Love his work. Lloyd trying to get a bit of time. Comes back to McLean. Back to Lloyd. He'll have a shot from there. Daniel Lloyd. Class. Class from Daniel Lloyd.
The middle.
Killarney Vale on the board. It's 7 plays 6.
I thought the Killarney Vale players there might have just done a little too much with little finicky handballs, but no. Daniel Lloyd ended up getting the shot out and he split the middle directly. And that goal is brought to you by Wilson Security. Wilson Security is Australia's largest and most innovative security provider, delivering a wide range of services to a diverse range of customers for all your security needs. Call Wilson Security on 1300 Wilson.
There's one bloke you don't want getting hold of a game of footy. It's Daniel Lloyd. Super classy. He's already kicked a goal. We've got a blood rule straight away. Coming onto the ground will be Curtis for Killarney Vale. It's Castle Nouveau with a bit of claret.
Looks like it's coming from his mouth.
He's going to go straight into the middle of the ground. So straight from the bench into the midfield for Curtis. Bailey will go to a wing. He's playing on Deverill. So Lenson now in the ruck. Up against, might be Atkin now doing the ruck work for Warners Bay. It is. So Amity gets a little punch. Atkin goes in, follows up his own work. That's a free kick. He's gone on with it, the Killarney Vale player. And it'll go straight back to Big Crawley for Warners Bay. So he's going to have a kick here. Doesn't like the treatment from Amity or Sinclair or whoever it was that tackled him. Roach. Well done, Amity. Roach just kicked it straight into the man on the mark, and the bodies are flying in hard and tough. In the end, it comes out to Amity. Umpires found a free kick for a throw, and it might go the way of the Bulldogs this one, it will. So Atkin leading the side today. Kicks it into full forward. He's going to be looking for Avery. Going back with the flight was Brendan Lewis. It was really good stuff. Down there, Spinks. Spinks in the pocket. He's going for the banana. Oh, he gets it again to Spinks. It's gone out of play.
Oh, he could have centered that ball. It was a bit selfish there, but
Didn't his eyes light up?
yeah, I saw the goals and just went for it. But yeah, it was a bit unselfish.
Unselfish or selfish?
Selfish. Or maybe it's shellfish.
Yeah. Sinclair on his left side. Kicks it out to that far wing. This is Lloyd up against Stewart. Look at Daniel Lloyd. Well done to Stewart, but he broke the tackle in the end, did Lloyd. Drills into the middle of the ground. He was looking for Ireland. He kept his feet, Ireland. Very rarely loses a one-on-one contest. Jackson Ireland has it here in the middle of the ground. Off one step. He's going to look forward down there for Daly, Justin Daly. Comes over the back. Turner gets there first. The handball was for Marn. Couldn't take possession. Another boundary throw-in. Gee, we've had a lot of boundary throw-ins today.
Yeah, no, and I mean, again, like the first game, this is a real hard, tough fight at the footy, so goals are going to be crucial in this one as well.
The woodwork in there, Crotty, also well down there to Stewart. Ground in absolutely picture-perfect condition. A 2:30 p.m. start today. Newcastle Terrigal Avoca played at 12, and if you're just tuning in, Newcastle City are through to a grand final. They missed out last year. They were convincing 4-goal winners today over Terrigal Avoca. That's 2 weeks in a row they've beaten them, and they have to go in favourites, I think, in 2 weeks' time. Well done there to Turner. Down onto our broadcast side. Good jump over the top, Avery. There's my man, Avery. Schindler Taylor just let him grab it. Good pass down there to Roach. So Luke Roach has got it on a half-forward flank. Gee, the numbers are back, though, for Killarney Vale. Yeah, it was a bit... He probably just had to lower the eyes a little bit anyway. Brendan Lewis had it. Chipped it into the middle of the ground. Sinclair's probably had 5 or 6 possessions already. He's got it centre-half back, and he's going to run across now. Gee, that's a risky kick. It has to reach its target. He's gone for Barrett, but getting there first might be Debnam. So Debnam gets back onto his right foot, goes for Sinclair again. A little bit ambitious. Getting there first is Roach. Luke Roach again. Handball wasn't all that great. Comes back to Debnam and just throws it on the boot to centre half forward. But now there's numbers here for Warners Bay. So straight away, the Bulldogs and the Bombers both playing with a spare man in defence. So scoring may be tough. Away they go through centre half back through Jake Roach. He has a bounce now. Runs through the middle of the ground. Just backs himself. He's a lovely kick of the footy. Goes for full forward to Spinks, the shortest bloke on the ground. He was never going to mark that. Shackleton, the veteran, just chipped in. Goes out wide for Lewis. It missed him. Also down there is Forster. Lewis took the footy. Drilled the pass down low to Edwards. And Brad Edwards has it on our broadcast side on the picturesque Newcastle number 1. Semi-final number 1 here. The third place Bombers played in the grand final last year. They lost to Terrigal Avoca. They're going to have to do it the hard way if they're to challenge again this year. Down there's Island. He's such a good footballer. Gets onto his left foot now and goes long. They're in the box seat here, the Bombers. Going back with the flight. Can't see who that player was. Eventually comes out through Warners Bay, but only as far as Castelnuovo. Is that a free kick? It's going to be one to Castelnuovo.
It must be the pressure of a final series because, again, in this game, disposal efficiency is a little poor at the moment.
Here's Sinclair again. He's been super active starting in the middle of the ground. Daniel Lloyd leads for him. Who have they got deep? He's going to chip a little pass down there looking for Young. So it was Michael Young involved in the play earlier. Just puts up his arm and says, I don't think it was his fault. The kick wasn't all that crash hot. Atkin, the representative ruckman, jogs down there to the back pocket for the throw-in. He'll be rucking against Lenson. Young went in over the top. Warners Bay through. Metcalf might get out of trouble here, and they will through Atkin. Just drives the footy forward. Once again, that loose man. It's going to be interesting. Who's going to be able to lower the eyes and actually break the lines here today? Barrett's got it in the middle of the ground. They can't just bomb it long.
It's going to have to be a game where they run and use their legs and link up with handballs.
Good grab there by Ireland. Wheels onto the right side on this occasion. Kicks long. It's a lovely kick to the pocket. Not being able to take the mark down there was Daly. But already he stamped his authority on this match has Jackson Ireland. Boundary throw in, deep forward pocket here for the Bombers. 7 plays 6. It's a tight affair all over the ground. Lenson just booted it out of the air. Wasn't in danger, said the umpire. Probably going to have another stoppage here. Deep forward pocket for the Bombers.
Yeah, nah, plenty of stoppages in this game and plenty of passion as well. Both teams are hard at the footy. Bit of a scrappy affair.
See, it just got thrown out. Warners Bay probably were looking to get it rushed through there. Marn just handballed it into space. Down there is Metcalf, I believe. It eventually comes back to Sinclair, who's been super impressive early. Goes back even further to Cartwright, and now Daniel Lloyd has it. He's too far out to score, about probably 80 metres, although he's going to load up. Maybe I'll eat my words here. No, that won't make the distance. He goes deep to the pocket. Could go out on the full. It will. Down there in front of Crotty. So Warners Bay will take the kick. 7 plays 6 here, early stages of the first term. Well, midway through it now, as Roach drills a pass. Through to Burns. So Ben Burns switches further once again. Beg your pardon, it was Crotty who kicked in. Roach had that one, went for Bartlam. It was a poor kick. Debnam's there. Goes back even further. Must have brought that boundary line in. He's called that one back, the boundary umpire.
If that kick had found Bartlam, Warners Bay would have been away there. He had a paddock of space.
Certainly being played more in the forward half of Killarney Vale early on. Not being able to put a score on the scoreboard as Island comes off for a well-earned break. Sinclair tackled from behind. Is that correct disposal? It was deemed it was. Castelnuovo's there. They go forward again. Little scrappy kick inside. Lenson just off one step. Kicks it to the top of the line. Crotty goes back. Takes a chest mark.
Good defensive mark there in the last line of defence.
It's well done to Crotty. So they're going to go way out long here to Buckley. He's going to take an easy chest mark. It was good running. He hasn't got really another option as the Killarney Vale midfielders and backs just float up. Although now he does, and it was a pretty good lead by Deverell. And also a good kick from Buckley. So Deverell has it now. He goes for the chip pass again. Avery. Well worked this from the Bulldogs.
They're finding space inside that
But if you look back,
zone.
you can see Shackleton. You can see Emity. They've got 4 or 5 players behind the ball. Already quite a defensive mindset. He just chips into the middle of the ground. Poor pass. You can't do that. Daniel Lloyd's away. Kicks long. Does Lloyd to a one-on-one contest. The ball bounces down there in front of Daly and ends up hitting the point post down there with Tim Hoff. It'll be a boundary throw-in. We've played nearly 17 minutes here of the first term. Winner to play Terrigal Avoca next Saturday. Prelim final.
Should be a cracking game, that. Terrigal will be wanting to avenge their straight losses after going
My word, they will.
15 games straight in the beginning of the season, losing the last home and away game to Newcastle City, and then again losing the semi-final here today.
So Marn's got it. That's holding the ball.
That's holding the ball.
Was called to play on, tried to balk. Very well done down there to the lone forward in Justin Daly.
Daly just hiding behind him there, not knowing he was there. Waited for the umpire to call play on and snuck in and got the free kick.
Holding the footy, gee. Well, we saw in the first game, goals are absolutely precious. So already only the 2 goals thus far in this one.
And with Killarney Vale having most of the play inside their forward half down this end, they've been able to put scoreboard pressure as he comes in. Goal umpire doesn't move.
Second goal of the day for Killarney Vale. They've kicked 2 straight. They lead 12-7. It's goals to Daniel Lloyd and now Justin Daly in the 25. That goal down there brought to you by Subway Morisset, who will give the award for the best on ground today. And also a $50 Dustwind Hound voucher for the Newcastle restaurant chain for the play of the day. Josh Wheeler got that one in the prior game. Looks like a really good game of footy, this one.
Yeah, and Star 104.5 plays the music we all love and proudly supports the Black Diamond AFL.
Big jump that time by Atkin. Getting the clearance again, though, was Killarney Vale. It goes to centre half forward for them. Just crashing through the pack. I don't know who it was, but it was sensational play. We'll come back to him. Might have been Crotty. It's well done, though, down there to Cartwright. Couldn't take clean possession. Schindler Taylor, beg your pardon, tries to lay a tackle.
Yeah, no, it was Crotty, and here he is with the ball.
So Crotty's got it again. Loved his pace a few moments ago. Kicks it into the middle of the ground looking for Bartlam. Put his hands up. Couldn't take possession. It was well done to Emity. He went to ground. Oh, he's going to pay a high tackle there, Ashley Borg. He's going to pay to Dane Emity. So he's got it at centre half back. switches play and comes out wide to Jeff McLean, who's got a bit of space to run. He's being chased down there by Schindler Taylor, but he has enough time to get it to centre half forward. Jackson Island won't go to ground. Look how good he is. Sensational
all the numbers
footballer.
here.
And well done to Ryan King as well. Just gained a bit more territory for the Bombers. Probably slightly looking the better side at the minute, the Bombers.
Yeah, no, looking better at the moment. That was great work there from King. Warners Bay had 5-on-2, had the numbers, and yeah, managed to work it up. Just a little bit of space and find touch for a boundary throw in.
Amity Island, a lot of veterans around the footy, and it goes down to Roach. Also, Amity's in there, ferreting for it. Probably looked a slightly bigger side as you look around the ground, Killarney Vale. They've got a lot of young boys, Warners Bay. I really like the second half of their season. Certainly have showed a lot. And a win a few weeks ago in the rain up against Nelson Bay was super impressive. Deverell could have been held, wasn't, apparently. Umpire Borg is going to have it. Just a bit. We are into time on now. It's just a slim 5-point lead to Killarney Vale. Certainly kicking to the goal scoring end of the ground to the right. If any of the other games are to go off, Amity just got a kick out of the contest, and King had his name written all over it. It was pretty fortuitous. He's going to have a shot at goal and give the Bombers a little bit of breathing space, Nathan.
Yeah, he's on about a 45-degree angle. We'll kick from about 35. I assume that he's a reliable set shot, and we'll talk him in here as he starts his walk down the runway. A little bit of a Josh Kennedy skip. Lovely kick off the boot.
Great
goal
kick,
umpire
King.
Doesn't move, and it's a goal.
Kicks his first for the day, does Ryan King in the 18 for the Bombers. And they've got a little bit of a lead here. They are kicking to that goal-scoring end. But straight away, they're winning the battles all over the ground.
Yeah, now that goal could become crucial, and the Newcastle Herald plays an integral part in the Hunter community. The Herald's reporting and commentary leads to public debate in the region in its coverage of local issues. From business and politics through to sport and entertainment, it is second to none. The Newcastle Herald, the voice of the Hunter, in print, online, and on your mobile.
So 3 goals, plays 1 here, into time on in the first term. Atkin doing the ruck work again. This time he's up against Higgins, Nathan Higgins. Roach takes possession. Bailey took him high. Did he? Did he duck the head? Umpire's going to ping him for holding the ball. That's not a correct decision. Gee whiz, that was red hot. Anyway, Bailey's got it. Maybe he didn't make any genuine attempt.
Must have been because he ducked the head.
Yep. So he goes into the hot spot. Daniel Lloyd runs hard at it. Knowing Lloyd will probably have a shot.
It was a great lead all the way from the goal square. It was also a lovely kick. Just put it out into space, just over the head of the Warners Bay defender. And, took it at full pace.
So here comes Lloyd to give them a very comfortable lead here late in the first term. Goes back. Nice looking drop punt from Lloyd. He's got it.
He's kicked it.
Daniel Lloyd kicks the goal. He's second for the day. And Killarney Vale are well on their way.
In 2015, Prime 7 has more footy on more nights, live and free. Prime 7's coverage includes 4 games every round on 7 Mate, including the marquee Friday and Saturday night matches, Black Diamond AFL and Prime 7, your local AFL team.
So back in the middle we go, 24 playing 7 now. They're out to that 17-point lead already. Certainly looking the goods all over the ground are Killarney Vale. Hey, boys. Atkin won the tap, but once again they're getting all the ascendancy forward as the bounce doesn't favour forward down there. Eventually ends up with Turner. Amity's chasing it like a dog with a bone, but just a little bit too easy for Burns. Kicks down along looking for Schmaler Looms. Couldn't take the grab. Comes back again to Deverell. Blind turn. Well done, Lockie Deverell. Little left foot pokey kick down to Schindler Taylor. Back to Deverell on his left side. Little chip pass to centre half forward. It's going to find Shackleton. He just bursts. Just doesn't break stride. Goes straight through the middle of the ground looking for Ireland. Ireland will go again. Takes possession to Jackson Ireland. Does he get a handball away? Incorrect disposal. Wasn't to be. Good tackle by Marn. And umpire Borg will have that one and reset it.
Yeah, those loose numbers for Killarney Vale are seeming to get on top here. A lot of disposals off that half-back line.
Absolutely right. Ball up again. Higgins is up, going back with the flight now. It's Castelnuovo, but a really good mark there taken by Alex Metcalf on the half-back flank. Certainly the Bulldogs' defence are under a little bit of pressure here early. Left foot kick there from Metcalf. Just kicks it to a pack. Plenty of Warners Bay players. You just couldn't hear their voices, however. Roach was there, couldn't get a kick. Good tackle there by Bailey on Schindler Taylor. Umpire Borg's going to have it. Centre wing, broadcast side. We played nearly 25 minutes here, opening term. Siren won't be far away. Warners Bay would definitely love a goal. Only the one for them thus far. Castelnuovo trying to break through. Down there is Forster. Borg's found a free kick there. It's going to go the way of Bartlam, the goal kicker. So Bartlam, he's got, I think it's Buckley up forward, but gee, it looks very stagnant. You can just see the Bombers players now going back. Mark that. Good luck to you if you can mark that. Well, a Bomber has, as you'd expect. He's going to get a free kick regardless. I think it's Barrett. It is. So Barrett goes through centre half back. Edwards. They can't bomb away. Certainly something the coaching staff of Warners Bay are going to have to look at if they're going to kick a score today. Over the top. Well done there to Roach. Great player is Roach. Buried in, got his own footy. Just beats a couple of tacklers. Sensational play by Roach. Got his footy back. Streams through centre wing. Lowered the eyes. Mumford should have marked that one. Schindler Taylor's there. He'll get possession. He goes to double back. Did he keep it in play? Good decision. He did. Back to Roach again. That's high. Just leading from the front at the minute is Jake Roach.
And has plenty of footy in the last couple of minutes.
But you can see, Nathan, you can see Sinclair there, Emity there.
He's got no one to kick to.
Nah,
he's gone
they're
short.
Just going to pop it up. A great grab.
Oh, it's a great grab.
It was very good mark there, taken by Shmela Looms. And slightly into the breeze. He's going to have to kick that footy probably 55 metres for it to carry the journey. A goal that they would desperately love going into quarter time. Siren can't be far away.
Yeah, nah, Warners Bay definitely need this goal. But as you said, it's going to be a tough kick. We know that this isn't necessarily the scoring into the ground, but kicking into the wind will be a tough one.
So here comes Shmela Looms. Kicks pretty much right from the paint. It's pushed it out to the right. It'll stay in play, however, and it's elected to punch. Comes back to the Bulldogs. Great goal.
Snap.
Goal down there, kick to Leo Vo. Warners Bay get their second. Probably not the most intelligent punch there from the Killarney Vale player. Probably had to kill that ball. Vo was the opportune forward. Snapped it onto the right boot, and just with the probably one or two inside 50s, they've kicked a couple of goals, Warners Bay.
Yeah, no, I mean, they tell you as a player to get front and centre at a contest, and he was there, and rightly so, deserved a goal.
Well done there to Vo.
The BLK is the official apparel supplier of the Richmond Tigers, Western Bulldogs, GWS Giants, Adelaide Crows, Gold Coast Suns and Brisbane Lions, and the exclusive on-field apparel supplier of the Black Diamond AFL. BLK, beyond limits known.
Good play. Sinclair just runs through the middle of the ground. High tackle there is going to go the way of the Bombers. And it was McLean who got that one. That'll be quarter time, however. And at Newcastle number 1 sports ground in the number 1 semi-final, first semi-final, it's 4 straight goals to Killarney Vale. They're 24. Warners Bay trail 2-1-13. The goal kickers, please.
The goal kickers for Killarney Vale, we have Daniel Lloyd with 2, Ryan King with 1, as well as Justin Daly with 1. And for Warners Bay, we have Scott Bartlam and Leo Vo.
So that's quarter time here in the first semi-final. Killarney Vale with a brief lead. We'll be back shortly with second quarter action.
Star 104.5 and Black Diamond AFL would like to thank the following sponsors for making it possible to hit the field week in and week out. Wilson Security. Wilson Security is Australia's largest and most innovative security provider. Prime 7. In 2014, Prime 7 has more footy on more nights, live and free. Newcastle Herald. The Newcastle Herald plays an integral part in the hunter community. Star 104.5. Star 104.5 plays the music we all love and proudly supports Black Diamond AFL. BLK. BLK, the official apparel supplier to the Richmond Tigers, Western Bulldogs, GWS Giants, Adelaide Crows, Gold Coast Suns and Brisbane Lions. Belmont 16-Footers Sailing Club. Located on the picturesque Lake Macquarie, Belmont 16s is one of the premier venues in the Hunter region, offering the very best in dining, promotions and entertainment. GE Industrial Solutions, partnering with the mining community in the Hunter for the last 50 years, delivering safe and reliable electrical equipment and engineering services to our customers. Sports Coast Trophy and Embroidery. Sports Coast Trophy are the leading supplier of trophies and embroidery on the Central Coast. Waratah Sports. Waratah Sports has been specialising in sporting equipment, sporting apparel and trophies and medals on the Central Coast for over 20 years. Subway Morisset. Subway Morisset is open 7 days a week, breakfast, lunch and dinner.
Car 33, proceed to level 2, check on its service.
Command, this is Car 33, I'm going on my break.
We have a visual.
Don't miss the Wilson Security Black Diamond AFL this weekend. Entry to all games is free. Check out the game times and venues at bdafl.com.au. Black Diamond AFL and Prime 7, your local AFL team.
Second quarter action here of the first semi-final between Killarney Vale and Warners Bay. Killarney Vale got the jump, but it was a late goal to Vaux for the Bulldogs. They trail now by 11 points. Kicking to the scoring end, however, the Doggies to the right. Starting back in the ruck is Crawley for Warners Bay. And he got a really convincing tap down over the top. Barrett gets there first. He on his left side, just boots it forward. Going back with the flight, however, is Marn.
Great atmosphere down here for this game as well.
Isn't it? Yeah. Good supports coming out for both sides. That's a great mark by Shackleton. Got a player in the middle of the ground. I believe it is Sinclair. Sinclair, ample time. Good footballer, Sinclair. Gets onto his right foot, goes to the one-on-one with Lloyd. Yeah, well done, Daniel Lloyd. Playing down there on Metcalf. Metcalf just took a split second to actually look at his opponent. Actually, is it Metcalf? Anyway, Daniel Lloyd. He's lining up.
Looks like the move's been moved to move Stewart off him, though.
Yeah, exactly right. So Daniel Lloyd, he's already kicked just the one. This is a beautiful looking drop punt. Just misses to the left side. Kick 2, beg your pardon. So that's 2 goals, 2 now for Daniel Lloyd. I'll just see if you can tell me who he's playing on out there. It is Metcalf. So Metcalf just took a split second to try and find his opponent. It was enough time for Daniel Lloyd to beeline for the footy. That's a great kick in. Bartlam, strong hands in the middle of the ground.
It's a great grab in the middle of the ground.
And a really strong lead came from his teammate as well. He elected to wait a little bit longer. It was Atkin, the kick. Going through Schindler-Taylor. Goes forward again. Now eventually ends up in the hands of
Just
Quinn.
Goes to the left.
So Pat Quinn there missing to the left-hand side. Lewis will be doing the kicking in duties for the Bombers. Would have dearly loved the first goal there of the second term. The Doggies. Lewis kicks to himself and goes out to the far side. Well done there, Schindler-Taylor, just chopping in. Putting his head over the footy might have been Castelnuovo. And also Amity. Comes back now, to Castelnuovo. Looking out there for Debnam. He does. He gets there first. Debnam gets around Stewart with ease. Now he looks up forward. Going for that Daniel Lloyd contest up against Metcalf. Also down there is Young and also Daly. Justin Daly in the 25 for the Bombers.
Well, I think that is. I think it's Metcalf. He's rolling around on the ground.
He doesn't look too good.
Might have got a whack to the back of the head.
So boundary throw in here. Half forward for Killarney Vale. Getting there first was Castelnuovo. Went out of bounds, however. Star 104.5 plays the music we all love and proudly supports Black Diamond AFL. Boundary throw in again. We're just 3 minutes played here in the second term. Warners Bay might clear this through centre half back. One-on-one contest. It's Turner up against Bailey. They force a draw. The ball goes to ground. Getting there's Brendan Lewis, Mr. Reliable. The ball just bounces hard on that surface, and that's a mark. Down there taken to Sinclair.
It's a good diving mark.
Absolutely. Sinclair's got it at centre half forward here for Killarney Vale. Can't afford to get a lead here, Killarney Vale, as far as the Bulldogs are concerned, especially going with the breeze this quarter. But that's just a little bit too easy.
I was about to say, you can see that Warners Bay are throwing the numbers back, but Sinclair able to find Lloyd on the lead.
Yeah, just a little bit too easy there. Daniel Lloyd had his name written all over that one. And this is to give the Bombers a little bit of breathing space. So missed one from probably a little bit further out on the same angle a couple of minutes ago. Can he make amends? So Lloyd finished 4th in the goal kicking for the league in 2015. That looks a nicer kick from Lloyd. Kicks his 3rd for the day.
It's a great kick from Lloyd.
And now the Bombers are away.
The Belmont 16-footer sailing club is located on the picturesque Lake Macquarie. Belmont 16s is one of the premier venues in the Hunter region, offering the very best in dining, promotions and entertainment. For all the latest news and promotions, visit 16s.com.au or find us on Facebook.
So 5-1 plays 2-2 here. Good goal to Lloyd. He's up and about, and he's already got 3. We're 4 minutes into the second term. Rucks go at it. Really like the way Crawley goes about it. Ends up coming over the top to Debman. Was that in his back? No. Play on was the call. Get a clearance here, but it's well done, Brendan Lewis. I don't know how they're going to kick a score today, Warners Bay. They've got Roach down there, Schindler-Taylor. Nichols floating in and out as well, but you feel like they just don't have that spearhead forward that Killarney Vale do in the form of Lloyd. Anyway, goes out to centre wing. It'll be another boundary throw in.
Yeah, no, and I mean, Killarney Vale are doing very well in defence, but yeah, they just can't seem to find that lead up target that's going to be their main focal point for the day.
You can see Luke Roach down there playing on Edwards. Saw him kick a bag against Nelson Bay, but who's going to help him out? Brendan Lewis just attacked the footy so hard. Really good play. Schindler Taylor, though, he followed it up with the tackle. Play on's the call. Castelnuovo threw it out. Shackleton. Now Barrett. Barrett out to his half-forward line. Ireland's the only one there for the Bombers. He gets a average bounce. Made it look pretty good. Mahon just scraps a little kick forward. Getting there first will be Turner. Really good contest between Turner and Bailey.
Great attack of the footy from both footballers there.
Going to be a boundary thrown right in front of our broadcast position here on centre wing. Higgins there up against Crawley. Going through hard with Sinclair. Liked his game thus far. Goes in for the Lloyd direction. Why wouldn't you? Doing well down there was Burns. Goes back a little bit further now. Roach is doing a little bit of work in the back line. That's a pretty good kick. Hits Mahon. Gee, they'd love a few more of those kicks like Roach just to balance out their side a little bit. Mahon's going to play on here. Gallops through centre half back and now just kicks it into the middle of the ground, but that kind of kick isn't going to cut it. Debnam dropped the mark, fortunately for them. They go forward again. Good little kick pass looking for the other Roach. Couldn't take the mark. He was well worn down there by Edwards. Schindler Taylor's the only option. He's going to get a free. Umpire pointed the other way. Anyway, it was McLean. Jeff McLean chips across. Brendan Lewis. Gee, this game's open compared to the last one. Shackleton's going to get it out on the far wing. Gets there first to Shackleton. No, fumbles it over the line. You can just tell the difference, can't you? The tackling pressure was so intense. A lot more open spaces with this game.
And free-flowing, high-tempo footy from both teams.
Boundary throwing out on that far wing. Crawley again doing the ruck work.
And we'll have another boundary throw in on the far wing, centre of the ground. As the ruckman go at it.
So it's Crawley again. Comes out to Daniel Lloyd, who's up the ground a little bit now. The kick was for Ireland, but it went over his head. Ireland down there playing on, it might be Crotty. Crotty kicks it out to this broadcast side. Bounces an okay one, and he gets there first. It's Turner. He goes to handball back. Hoff kicks it to the wing. It's going to bounce. Daniel Lloyd traps the footy, does it beautifully. Gets on his right foot and just cleverly kicks around the body to Amity.
Look at the numbers in the middle.
Yeah, so Drano Amity's got it here. He's going to switch play. Not a good kick. Should be marked there by Warners Bay. Play on will be the call. Advantage is paid. Schindler Taylor gave a little handball off. That might be Quinn streaming through the middle of the ground. It was a good kick for Roach. Just dropped a mark he should have taken. Roach does the full 360. That's holding the footy for mine.
And I was a bit lucky to get away with that one.
It wasn't paid.
Anyway, there's a throw in.
Yep, so
forward
deep
after
forward.
the ground.
Atkin down there up against Lenson. Scrubby kick came from Mumford. Barrett couldn't pick up the footy. Now it's tackled down there. Spinks got a little handball, weaves a little bit of magic now with the banana kick. Oh, must have shaved the post, did it?
Oh, yeah, it has.
Wow.
Just shaved the post.
It was a nickel, I think, who threw it on the right boot. Geez, it looked nice.
Almost an unbelievable goal from the pocket. That could have sparked something for Warners Bay.
Yeah,
but
so
now Killarney Vale have it. 35
has it
in
at
front.
centre half back. Play on immediately. Everything they're doing at the moment, Killarney Vale just seems a little bit more polished. Getting good control over the footy. This is the skipper with it in the middle of the ground. He's just going to chip it. Loose men everywhere. Amity has it at centre half forward. He goes to the little chip pass looking for Lloyd. Jumps hard, Daniel Lloyd. Too good, too strong. Too skillful as well.
Yeah,
great mark.
Great mark overhead.
Just
was hitting the
jumped
ball
early.
at pace, but yeah, had to slow up, and yeah, was still able to hold on to that.
Just
Great
jumped
kick.
nice and early, and already the signs aren't that great for Warners Bay. When they go forward, they don't have that spearhead to kick to. And at the other end, it doesn't help that this bloke's got his tail up. So Daniel Lloyd now, he's lining up for his fourth goal. We're only halfway through the second term. Straight back. Bang it. Lloyd kicks the goal. Killarney Vale get another one. They're now 6-1, 37. The Bulldogs are 2-3, 15. Killarney Vale look hard to beat.
Yeah, no, they're kicking away now, especially against the wind. And GE Industrial Solutions, partnering the mining community in the Hunter for the past 50 years, delivering safe and reliable electrical equipment and engineering services to our customers. And they are the proud sponsor of the BDAFL women's competition.
Good stuff. So back in the middle of the ground, it's going to be Crawley up against Lenson for the Bombers. Killarney Vale already with a really firm grip on. How good's this guy been? Daniel Lloyd trying to crush through. He's just dropped the footy. Good decision, umpire. Didn't try and handball it. Roach played the advantage. Drills a low pass forward for his brother. Great footy, Warners Bay. Certainly their best passage. It was Jake Roach. Drilled the pass to his brother Luke. And we mentioned it before. Who's going to kick their goals? If they're to win today, Warners Bay, I get the feeling Luke Roach is probably going to have to kick 5 or 6 at least.
Yeah, no, he has to kick this as he comes down the runway.
You love this runway, don't you, Nathan?
Yeah, I do. And he's just pushed that to the right. It's only a point.
Yeah, he just kind of stabbed at that one. Never really kicked through that footy, unfortunately, for him.
Yeah, might have just been hoping that the wind would bring it back, or the wind did take it with him, but no.
So Brendan Lewis just kicks to himself, and even the pressure there coming from the tacklers wasn't really there. Quinn, Spinks. Yeah, good tackle there by Debnam. That's holding the footy, but play on the call. Debnam gets it back. Little handball out, looking for Lenson. Debnam goes in again. Is that a free kick? No, they weren't holding the ball to the Bulldogs players. They're going to have a ball up at centre half forward here for Warners Bay.
Yeah, Killarney Vale look very threatening every time they go forward, but yeah, the Warners Bay guys are going to have to get a bit of mongrel about them to kick a couple more goals in this quarter and bring the game back.
Handball came from Quinn on that occasion. Gained a few metres. Lenson. Mumford's in there. Spinks. Good tackle on Spinks. Didn't go too low. Good tackle by Roach as well. Luke Roach on that occasion. And he's found a high tackle here, Ashley Borg. It's going to go the way of Sinclair, who's been one of the better players on the ground for mine early. Lewis, Brendan Lewis, the skipper. He's got it at fullback. Goes further wide once more. Daniel Cartwright. Using the ball much better at Killarney Vale. Good skill use here. Sinclair has it again. As we see Lenson come for a break. Higgins will probably go into the ruck here. They go to centre half forward. Emity. Well done to Crotty to float in, but well done to the Killarney Vale player who chopped across in front. And who else would it be but Jackson Island? Some of the better players for Killarney Vale certainly stepping up in this final today. And why wouldn't you? The winner plays Terrigal Avoca next week for a place in the granny. Oh, strong hands. Contested mark, Daniel Lloyd. He had Crotty. He had Stewart to beat. He had Marn from the side. This is for goal number 5, Nathan. And we're 13 and a half minutes into the second term.
Yeah, no, he could walk away with an absolute bag here today. And yeah, it's proving to be a real danger up forward for Warners Bay.
So here he comes in, Lloyd. He's had a few kicks from this exact position, actually. Looks pretty nice off the boot. They're clapping it through. Lloyd gets another one. Goal number 5 for Daniel Lloyd. And Killarney Vale all in control in this match.
Yeah, and that goal was brought to you by the Entertainment Grounds on the Central Coast. The Entertainment Grounds has quickly established itself as the premier events location on the Central Coast. The Entertainment Grounds is an indoor and outdoor multi-purpose community facility to be used for functions, events, festivals, weddings, exhibitions, and as well as horse racing.
So Higgins now doing the ruck work up against Crawley. Force a draw on that occasion. Roach tackled immediately down there by Bailey. Umpire Borg's going to have it. He doesn't let it go as long as some of the umpires in the first match.
No.
Rather get his hands on it and
get the game going. Keep that high tempo up.
Yep. Crawley jumps over the top. It was a good tap. Down there's Debnam. He just wasn't getting tackled, though. There's just no intensity. Sinclair goes to centre half forward. Is that a free kick? It's going to be. It's going to go the way of Marn. So Matt Marn here. Full back line. Good little pass there to Atkin. Just boots it long to centre half forward. Schindler Taylor's probably the only real hope there for Warners Bay. Down there also is Prendergast, but Barrett, it's just too easy across centre-half back for the Bombers. Deverill, little chip pass over the top for Spinks. This is better play, better build-up. This is the kick, however. Where's the forward? Where's the spearhead forward? Where's the Daniel Lloyd for Warners Bay? Spinks, he's going to kick it long, just to the hot spot. Schindler-Taylor's going to have to take a grab. Just no potency, Nathan.
No. The Warners Bay guys made there were 2 leads up the ground, and he ignored both, and then ended up just having to bomb long to the hot spot. And yeah, unfortunately, Killarney Vale too good at the moment.
Absolutely. Brendan Lewis doing the kicking in duties. Goes to himself and goes long. Free kick there looks like it's going to be for a block, and it's going to actually go the way of Daniel Lloyd. So he'll get on his bike now and get forward. Comes back eventually to, might be Quinn. Kicks it long to full forward. Punch came over the top from Shackleton and Lewis. All over the forward line down there. We're 16 minutes played here into the second term. 43 plays 17. They've well and truly jumped them here, the Bombers.
Yeah, they well and truly have. They're on top at the moment. We saw that last game was a very close scoring affair, but yeah, this looking like it could be a blowout.
Certainly got a lot to do here, Warners Bay, if they're going to be competitive in this match. They set up now with a wall across the middle of the ground. It comes back to Quinn. He takes possession. He does really well, Quinn, actually, in a tight space. Great kick, Quinn. Great play, Bulldogs. Jeremy Buckley's going to have a shot. He's going to be about 30 metres out from goal. That was good play.
Yeah, that's exactly what they need to do. They need to just lower the eyes and just hit those targets up. For Warners Bay to stay in this, he really needs to kick this.
Exactly. We said it in the prior game with Terry Gulavoka. They missed too many set shots at goal when they needed to kick them. This one certainly has to go through for the Bulldogs. So Buckley, seasoned campaigner, would dearly love to go deeper into the finals. Left foot kicks on its way. He hits the post. Not what they need here, Warners Bay.
No, we really needed to kick this.
Probably 5 minutes left.
Warners Bay with a few wasted chances to at least claw the margin back before halftime.
So Barrett's going to be doing the kicking in. They've gotten that side just about every time. He was thrown off the ball there, Debenham. He's going to get a free kick against Roach down there. Pretty easy mark taken by Young, right in the middle of the ground, that hard surface. Young goes long to a one-on-one, looking for Daly, I think it is down there, the sole forward. Coming back, though, was Burns. Kicked it out into space, looking for Quinn. Ball goes out of play. We'll have another boundary throw in. Nearly into time on here in the second term. It's the first semi-final. Boundary thrown again. Higgins down there up against Crawley. Going through hard was Quinn again. He's been pretty active, actually. Spinks shows a little bit of the footy. Moved really well there. He's going to go for Bartlam. Went over all their heads. Shackleton got a fist to it. Shackleton did well. Just backed himself and ran away from the pack. And then hit his skipper in Brendan Lewis out in the half-back flank. They switch play here and they were trying to open up. This is good play from the Bombers. Barrett, his kick across ground was for Edwards. Edwards now goes for full forward. He's got Jackson Island, who's pretty good in this position. Clever play.
That is a great mark.
Gee, I don't know if I've ever seen him get beaten one-on-one or at least force a draw. Protected the space, jumped into it. He's playing on Dean Crotty, who's pretty handy himself, but the Daniel Lloyds and the Jackson Islands, the experienced campaigners for the Bombers, gee, they're stepping up today. So pretty much in time on. Not even half time, but he kicks this. There is a monumental job in front of Warners Bay. Island goes back straight over the goal umpire's hat. He kicks his first for the day. Killarney Vale already stamping their authority for a preliminary final next week.
And that goal was brought to you by South Coast Trophy and Embroidery. South Coast Trophy are the leading suppliers of trophies and embroidery on the Central Coast. They are also proud supporters of the Black Diamond AFL.
That's Sports Coast, that one. Better give the Sports Coast Trophy and Embroidery. Great sponsor. Higgins now doing the ruck work for the Bombers. They need to get something going here, the doggies. You lose today, it's over. Where are they going to find a spark? Higgins up against Crowley. Daniel Lloyd now in the middle of the ground, and he gets a possession. Just beats a tackle there around Quinn. Not good enough. Goes to centre half forward looking for Ireland. And why wouldn't you? But just even that little broken tackle there from Daniel Lloyd on Quinn, there's just no real intensity. It's dead quiet out on the ground. You could probably almost hear a pin drop out here.
Yeah, no, it's very quiet from the supporters, but as well as the players. You can't really hear much communication out there.
Good tackle on that occasion came from Quinn. Already 49 playing 18. They're blowing them away here, Killarney Vale. We're into time on. And in a quarter where Warners Bay were probably kicking with a slight breeze, they've well and truly been beaten it in every facet. So Bailey has it here at centre half forward for the Bombers. Lowers the eyes. Well done though to Roach. Dropped the mark in the end that he probably should have taken. Kicked off the ground. Well done, Brendan Lewis. Too good a footballer there, Brendan Lewis, playing on the younger Schindler Taylor. Schindler Taylor here, he wants to make up for his work. Debnam. Drills a pass. Poor kick. He was looking for King.
Stewart.
And Stewart did pretty well. So, nice little build up here for the doggies. Speaks through the middle of the ground. He's looking for Atkin. That could have been a free kick for a hold. Playing on Higgins. Play on was the call. Quinn might get there first. He kept his feet. Gets onto his right foot now. He's going to switch it into the middle of the ground. It's got to be a good kick. It's not a great one. Buckley. Turner went hard at the foot. He tried to punch it. Down there is McLean. Kept his arms up. Really good tackle, though, from the Warners Bay player. Also there is Atkin. Schindler Taylor. Good tackling pressure from the Bombers. Buckley. Quinn, I think, again. Oh, sorry, it was Turner. Safe to say, I think Warners Bay need a goal going into half-time.
Yeah, no, and they need it quickly too.
Can't go in 7 goals down in a final. Expect to just come back into it. Certainly a massive job ahead of them. Boundary throw in here, half forward for Warners Bay. Punch came from Lloyd. Over the top to Amity. It was pretty nicely worked, actually. Came back to Crawley. Spinks has been pretty active in this term. Good tackle there by Amity, though. And the umpire's going to have it out on that far wing. Certainly a different atmosphere to this game. It's pretty quiet around the ground. I know it was a home crowd for Newcastle City, being just up the road, but it seemed very flat, particularly on the Warners Bay bench.
Yeah, no, it's very quiet. There are a few supporters still hanging around. We do have a decent crowd, but yeah, it's very quiet from both teams.
Umpire's going to have it again. Still plenty of stoppages. Good jump over the top there by Crawley. Looks a good ruckman. Bartlam was there. Going to have another throw in. We see Edwards come onto the ground. And that'll be half time here at Newcastle number 1. The Killarney Vale Bombers well and truly in control of this match. And at half time, it is Killarney Vale 8 goals, 149.
Yeah.
Only the one behind. Gee, that's
8
very
goals,
good kicking.
149.
Absolutely. And it is 2 goals, 6, I believe, to Warners Bay.
Yeah,
so
2 goals,
if
6.
we look at the goal kickers, who have we got there, Nathan?
So for Killarney Vale, Daniel Lloyd right up front, kicking a bag at the moment with 5 to half time. That's a great effort. We have Ryan King and Justin Daly with 1. And for Warners Bay, not a goal kicked in that quarter for them. Scott Bartlam and Leo Vo with the singles.
Yeah, they were both in the first term, so they'll keep goalless then, Warners Bay. Certainly need to improve, I think, all over the ground. Their intensity doesn't seem quite there. We'll see what happens in the second half. The winner of this match to play Terrigal Avoca next week in a preliminary final.
Star 104.5 and Black Diamond AFL would like to thank the following sponsors for making it possible to hit the field week in and week out. Wilson Security. Wilson Security is Australia's largest and most innovative security provider. Prime 7. In 2014, Prime 7 has more footy on more nights, live and free. Newcastle Herald. The Newcastle Herald plays an integral part in the hunter community. Star 104.5. Star 104.5 plays the music we all love and proudly supports Black Diamond AFL. BLK. BLK, the official apparel supplier to the Richmond Tigers, Western Bulldogs, GWS Giants, Adelaide Crows, Gold Coast Suns and Brisbane Lions. Belmont 16-Footers Sailing Club. Located on the picturesque Lake Macquarie, Belmont 16s is one of the premier venues in the Hunter region, offering the very best in dining, promotions and entertainment. GE Industrial Solutions, partnering with the mining community in the Hunter for the last 50 years, delivering safe and reliable electrical equipment and engineering services to our customers. Sports Coast Trophy and Embroidery. Sports Coast Trophy are the leading supplier of trophies and embroidery on the Central Coast. Waratah Sports. Waratah Sports has been specialising in sporting equipment, sporting apparel and trophies and medals on the Central Coast for over 20 years. Subway Morisset. Subway Morisset is open 7 days a week, breakfast, lunch and dinner.
Car 33, proceed to level 2, check on its service.
Command, this is car 33. I'm going on my break.
We have a visual.
Don't miss the Wilson Security Black Diamond AFL this weekend. Entry to all games is free. Check out the game times and venues at bdafl.com.au. Black Diamond AFL and Prime 7, your local AFL team.
Warners Bay with it all to do here. Third quarter action coming from Newcastle number 1 Sports Ground. Brought to you by Bar TV. It was a first half completely dominated by Killarney Vale, and one man in particular, Daniel Lloyd, with 5 first half goals. Certainly for mine, the best player on the ground, Nathan.
Yeah, no, I completely agree with that. Warners Bay have to find a spark somewhere, and they have to find it quickly.
They most certainly do. So it's going to be Crawley doing the ruck work for the Doggies. He'll be up against Higgins there for Killarney Vale. Can they find a spark? Going through hard was Spinks. He had a pretty good second quarter, actually. Roach got the kick away in the end. He's going to go for centre half forward. He was looking down there for Avery, I believe, in the 12. Yeah, so comes back into the middle of the ground. Strong tackle there laid by Ireland on Luke Roach.
It's Jake Roach.
Jake, beg your pardon. So big jump over the top by Crawley. Castelnuovo with the left foot. Just a bit easy there through traffic. Goes down towards Amity. Going through hard was McLean. No one taking clean possession. Is that in danger? No. Play on was the call. Debnam's got it here for the Bombers. Wheels onto the right side. Goes to centre half forward. But it's a bit too easy there. Numbers certainly with the Bulldogs. Probably should have taken that mark there and killed the situation. Ends up coming back to Lloyd, who gets on the right boot. He can do no wrong. Daniel Lloyd, one-on-one contest. Well done down there to, I think it might have been Hoff potentially, keeping his feet.
And then a little fumble, and it goes over the line. Still a dangerous position for Killarney
It
Vale.
was Tim Hoff. He did really well down there in that contest. He didn't go to ground. Punched the footy out. Did really well. So the ball just goes over the back. Spinks is down there. Turner takes possession. Drop the footy. Bailey's in there. Turner again picks it up. Umpire Borg will have it. So ball up here, centre half forward for Killarney Vale. Going in there's Roach. He's been trying hard for his club. Tried to beat a tackle, was played on. Lincoln Stewart here just throws it on the boot. Mumford's got it. Elected to play on. Why did he do that? Anyway, Roach gets it back. Kicks it out here to centre wing, just to no one really in particular. Getting there first will be Cartwright. Good handball back to Mumford. He's got Higgins further wide. That's got to be not 15. And he's going to pay it. Higgins goes with the left foot into the middle of the ground. Spinks elected to kick it. Ireland's out here. And look at the space in this game. Ireland just kicks long, lines up the big ones, and misses to the right.
Killarney Vale continuing the second half, exactly how they ended the first half. On top. The pressure is intense.
It is, but really from only one side. The ground is just completely open through the middle. A lot of easy kicks out here, like Jackson Island, for example, probably one of the better players on the ground. Finds it with a Paddock at centre half forward. Anyway, Metcalf has it in the back pocket. Need a spark here, the Bulldogs. Bartlam's got it. One of the 3 goal kickers for Warners Bay. Beg your pardon, just the 2 goal kickers for Warners Bay. Bartlam and Vo. Comes down to centre wing looking for Stewart. But just a little bit too easy there, and the mark taken by Ryan King. King goes into the middle of the ground. Pretty risky kick. Good jump at it there. Was actually illegal in the end by Pat Quinn. Was never going to affect that contest. So Jackson Island's got the footy right in the middle of the ground. This is a really good lead, actually. He's going to go further than that and look for Amity. He's got 3 to beat Dane Amity, and Quinn gets there. And he's got good pace, does Quinn. Has a bounce, ends up getting it back. Amity doesn't give up. Handball's back further once more. Marn has it now. Handball again, but look at that pressure. Just absolutely slung, and he's been pinged for a throw. And guess who? Daniel Lloyd's got it. It would take an almighty kick. I don't reckon he's got it in his legs.
No, at half-time, being out in the middle of the ground, it looks like the wind has kind of died off and changed direction a bit, so the wind's not going towards that end anymore.
Ends up with Spinks. So Spinks through the middle of the ground here for the Bulldogs, but their forward attacks have just got no potency, and it was Barrett who chipped in, took a mark right in the middle of the ground. He goes further wide once more, looking out there for McLean. Coming back through was Debnam, kicks it into the hot spot. Ireland couldn't take the mark. Turner gets the footy, does the full circle, drop the ball. Play on was the call. Strong tackle once more, but all the strong work's coming from the Bombers at this stage. Looks like that might be a free, however, going to the Bulldogs player. And I think it's Crotty. It is.
I think we have a blood rule though.
So it'll be a short stoppage here. Already only 5 minutes into the third term, and it's a 32-point lead to Killarney Vale. Very valuable lead in a final.
Yeah,
Castel Nuvo coming from the ground.
Yeah, 8 goals too as well. Very accurate kicking. We saw that if Newcastle City had kicked better in the last game, that they could have walked out away with a massive victory. So hopefully Killarney Vale will be able to do the same.
Yeah, Marn's got it here. Half-back flank for the Bulldogs. Kick dismisses its target. It's happened way too often for Warners Bay. Barrett wheels around onto his left side. Metcalf going back. Takes a pretty good mark. He's going to switch play here, Metcalf, and he's going to go out wide to Nickel. So Nickel, he'll go for Turner. Turner takes possession. Cuts back inside, does Turner. Now kicks to centre half forward, but look at that. 1, 2, 3, 4 Bombers. Just the one Bulldog in Avery. They just don't have any avenues to goal at the minute. Lloyd's got it in the middle of the ground.
No, they have none, and he switches the play across the ground.
So Barrett's got it here out on centre wing. We'll go for Ireland. Debnam. Going to ground. Bartlam's got the footy. Ends up getting out of that contest. Does pretty well. Gives a handball over the top to Marn, who just tries in every game he plays. This is Edwards here up against Spinks. Two of the runners. Well done, Spinks. Really good play, Spinks. Switches play into the middle of the ground. Oh, he did all the hard work. It was unlucky there in the end. McLean, Lewis, now Mumford. So Mumford will just chip over the top for Bailey. Taking possession there was Forster. Going hard is Mumford. Just follows up his own work. Does really well, Tom Mumford. Goes to centre half forward. Down there was King for Killarney Vale. Stewart tackled over the line there by Lloyd. And gee, they're tackling hard, aren't they, the Bombers?
Yeah, no, the Bombers are up and about again in this second half. Warners Bay just need to find that spark. I thought Spinks may have been able to do something back there, but wasn't able to finish up.
That's a good, clever kick around the corner there from King and hits Ireland. Just floated into his lap. Beautiful trajectory. I dare say he'll go back and have a shot here. Jackson Ireland.
And very, 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 very clever kick there.
So Ireland. He'll kick from about 40 metres. Pretty tough angle. Oh, it's a lovely kick. Jackson Ireland. Killarney Vale already. They've got 1 foot in the preliminary final. They've kicked away. 56 plays 18. We're only early stages of the third term.
Yes, and that goal was brought to you by Wilson Security. Wilson Security is Australia's largest and most innovative security provider, delivering a wide range of services to a diverse range of customers for all your security needs. Call Wilson Security on 1300 Wilson.
Well, they're blowing them away here, Killarney Vale. Nothing short of it. They've got Spinks in the midfield now. Roach and Big Crawley's doing the ruck work.
And again, they're just on top and at every contest. Those numbers are working off half back for them, and they're just not working in reverse for Warners Bay.
Good work down there by Crawley. Spinks boots the ball forward for Warners Bay. Oh, and a good mark. Well done. Metcalf, I think it is. Or maybe Buckley. Buckley, yeah. Jeremy Buckley. Much needed. It was a good overhead mark, and it was probably the first time the Bulldogs have gone forward and they actually looked quite potent. It was a good clearance. And this now is a huge kick. They pretty much have to score every time now they go inside 50 if they're even going to challenge Killarney Vale today. So Buckley. Only 2 goals thus far for the Bulldogs. This for their third. Left foot kicks on its way. Misses to the left.
Really needed to kick that. Warners Bay keeping themselves out of the game with this inaccurate kicking.
Yeah, exactly right. Brendan Lewis drills a pass for Mumford. Gives it back to his skipper in Lewis. Good kick again for Cartwright. Good build-up here, Killarney Vale. They look sharp. Lewis again. Handball this time. Lenson, Amity. Look at the space that the Bombers have. Goes to full forward looking for Lloyd. Lloyd, 1-2. Couldn't take the grab there on... He had two blokes to beat, Hoff and also Stewart. That was an interesting turn of events. Ireland gets it back. Lines up the big ones. Kicks it, goal. Too good, Killarney Vale. All over the ground. Every time they go forward, they're scoring. Jackson Island kicks his third.
It's 2 in a row for Jackson Island, and that goal was brought to you by BLK, the official apparel supplier to the Richmond Tigers, Western Bulldogs, GWS Giants, Adelaide Crows, Gold Coast Suns and Brisbane Lions, and the exclusive on-field apparel supplier of the Black Diamond AFL, BLK, Beyond Limits Known.
Yep. Certainly one-way traffic here.
Yeah, one-way traffic, or just heading to that one end of the ground again. Killarney Vale just on top in all areas of the game. Warners Bay dropping off at every contest. Just those numbers. I just don't know how Killarney Vale are finding so much space through the middle of the ground.
Yeah. Certainly not up to the intensity of a finals game at the moment from Warners Bay. Amity's kick was smothered. That was pretty good work. Look at Crotty go. Like the way he plays footy, actually, Crotty. Continue with the footy. It would have been out in the full that. He's going to get a kick here, Dean Crotty. So Crotty goes in the middle of the ground looking for Spinks. Gee, it's putting him under some pressure. Couldn't take a grab there. Just too easy. Debnam floated that kick up in the air, did Crotty. Spinks couldn't take the grab, and now look at this. Daniel Lloyd's going to have a shot at goal directly in front from about 40 metres. That's just the difference between the two sides.
Yeah, no, being able to hit those targets just inside 50 and that, just finding that space seems to be the real difference of the sides today. I mean, Daniel Lloyd, 5 goals in the first half, lining up for number 6. He'd be loving it out there today.
So here, in comes Lloyd. Keeps it pretty low. Kicks the goal. They get around him. 6 big ones to Daniel Lloyd.
6 goals in a final is a great effort. And that goal was brought to you by the Newcastle Herald. The Newcastle Herald plays an integral part in the Hunter community. The Herald's reporting and commentary leads public debate in the region, and its coverage of local issues from business and politics through to sport and entertainment is second to none. The Newcastle Herald, the voice of the Hunter in print, online and mobile.
Killarney Vale now looking like they're going to set up a grand final replay, of course, in the preliminary final. The winner next week will take on Newcastle City for the 2015 flag. Absolutely dominating in every facet here are the Bombers. Coming through hard was Crotty again. Like his intensity around the footy. Bailey tried to get a handball out, couldn't. Good tackling pressure there from both sides. That's good to see. Roach. But look at the time they've got here across half-back, the Bombers. Amity marks it here on centre wing in front of our commentary position. Turns around. Ball sort of bouncing just a little bit short there in front of... it might have been Forster down there.
Can you just see the
Young,
difference between
Michael Young?
You can just see the difference between the two sides. The ball goes out at the back of the contest, and Killarney Vale have those runners forward, and Warners Bay just seem to be dropping off their men.
It's a boundary throw, and he's just taking it out of the ruck, Daniel Lloyd, as he kicked a goal. Oh, what a goal, Daniel Lloyd. That's play of the day. He's kicked 7. But probably more importantly, that was just lazy work around the stoppage there from the Warners Bay boys. That was very subpar.
A boundary throw inside forward 50. You should never let anyone get a free run at it, and especially a snap at goal. In 2015, Prime 7 has more footy on more nights, live and free. Prime 7's coverage includes 4 games every round on 7 Mate, including the marquee Friday and Saturday night matches. The Black Diamond AFL and Prime 7, your local AFL team.
Good stuff. So Daniel Lloyd with 7 goals without even raising a sweat, really. He's also kicked a few points. I reckon he's kicked probably 7-3.
Yeah. I mean, is there a record for most goals in a finals game?
Oh, I don't know.
It
Probably
could be
a few
close.
more than 7. I remember, I think Courtney Knight might have kicked 8 in the grand final a few years ago, winning the Gary McBain medal. Up they go. Roach takes possession, beats a tackle. This is a rare clearance here for the Bulldogs. Kicks it out there looking for Avery. Got a pretty average bounce. Went over Brendan Lewis's head as well. Avery does well. Gets back on it. Double backs. Trying to get around Barrett. Barrett does superbly with the tackle. Pressure's immense. Comes back to Quinn. Back to Spinks. Left foot pass into the hot spot. Brendan Lewis just read it too easily. And watch how easily they get it out here. The Bombers. This is Young. Poor kick on that occasion. Is this a chance here for the Bulldogs? Deverell. Fortuitous kick. Lands in the arms there of Shmela Looms. He's going to play on. Good play. Roach has it. He's going to line up from goal. He's going to have to kick it about 40 metres. Not a bad passage there from the Doggies.
No. The force of turnover and, managed to hit up a couple of targets inside forward 50. He really needs to go back and kick this just for the sake of the game.
So here comes Roach. They don't want to get wiped off the park. They want to keep it respectable. Roach goes back. He kicks the goal. Can that spark something from the Doggies? They kick their first goal. Kicked their first goal since, I believe, the first term. 3 in total.
Yeah, no, didn't kick a goal in the second quarter. And that goal was brought to you by Belmont 16-footer Sailing Club. Located on the picturesque Lake Macquarie, Belmont 16s is one of the premier venues in the Hunter region, offering the very best in dining, promotions and entertainment. For all the latest news and promotions, visit 16s.com.au or find them on Facebook.
Yeah, they'll be hosting the Elliot Davey presentation night this coming Wednesday. Should be a fantastic evening. I'll be there. Try and
Looking at getting a ticket, but I'm not entirely sure yet.
You got other plans?
Uni work.
Yeah.
But I'd love to go.
So, ball up again. Mumford goes crashing through. Castelnuovo ends up with the footy. Throws it on the left boot to centre half forward. But it was a really good grab taken back there by Alex Metcalf. Kept his eyes on the footy. Goes with that left foot. It's an absolute mongrel of a kick. Bounces short. Barrett comes charging at it. Handballs it to no one really in particular. Roach, the goal kicker, is there. Beg your pardon, it's Luke Roach, actually. Tries to gain a little bit of territory. Buckley's there. Keeping in was Brendan Lewis. Gets it back to the skipper. And they could be out. They've got numbers out on this side of the ground. He's going to get it out here is Bailey. He can turn and go. Meeting him now is Deverell. Ireland. Strong mark.
But again, just finding that space in the middle of the ground.
Yeah, way too easily. Goes off one step to centre half forward. He'll go for Lloyd up against Stewart. Ball went over the back. Debnam's there. Socket off the ground in front of him. Lloyd again. He wants number 8, Daniel Lloyd. Oh. There's a goal, wasn't it?
Goal umpire's checking this.
No, one behind. So I'll point there. I thought Daniel Lloyd had kicked number 8.
Yeah, no, it looks like a goal from here, but, I mean, look, the goal umpire seems to be in the better position. $50 points the margin now. It's starting to creep out to a massive margin.
Yeah, and it's happened pretty quickly as well. So Marn kicks to himself and just boots it long, trying to get a little bit of territory here. Killarney Vale had their name written all over it. However, the ball ended up coming to ground. Just ferreting in for it down there, I think, was Sinclair. Good tackle by Spinks, but Castelnuovo got the kick away. Down there's Daly, but well done to Marn. Good grab taken on the last line of defence. Marn drives it up through centre half back. Good mark taken there by Lincoln Stewart. He wheels onto the right foot. They're going to get a holding free kick here. I think it might go the way of Buckley. So Buckley with the left foot kick. Poor kick from Buckley. Just turns it over. Barrett chips in, takes a pretty easy mark.
That has hurt them all day, Warners Bay. Just the inability to find targets.
So Lloyd kept his feet. Handball back inside to Castelnuovo. Back to Lloyd. Threw it on the boot looking for Bailey. Getting there first will be King. Pretty good tackle late on King. Gave it back to Bailey. This is better tackling from Warners Bay. Umpire straight away is going to have it. That's been one of the major differences in this game, how quickly they've stopped play once the ball's been held in. In the previous game between Newcastle and Terrigal, they really let it go for quite a long time. Spinks. He's been pretty good today, Spinks.
Yeah, he's been probably one of Warners Bay's best players.
Buckley. A little bit fumbly. Lloyd picked it up. I just got around him with ease. Lloyd drills the pass. Look at that for football. Absolutely class.
Top class footy from a top class player.
Yeah. This might be Higgins, I believe, at half forward here for the Bombers. He's going to load up. So he kicks it pretty well to the top of the goal square. It's a poor kick in the end because the Warners Bay player back there, Burns, was just sitting on his own. Took a pretty easy mark. Coming hard is Bailey. Bailey came over the top there of Mahon, forced a spoil. It's not over yet for Warners Bay. Going in there was Daly. Handball over the top. Gave it back to Castelnuovo. Missed to the left-hand side. So 76 playing 25 here at number 1 Sports Ground. I certainly didn't expect this kind of scoreline. In fact, I think we both tipped Warners Bay prior to the match.
Yeah, no, we did. And, yeah, Killarney Vale are really showing the class of football. I guess that shows you why they finished third on the ladder.
Exactly right. This is Vo. Just one of the 3 goal kickers is Leo Vo. Chips over the top. Prendergast has it. Centre half back for Warners Bay. This is where they've struggled to get it past. That's a better kick. Hits Avery here in front of our broadcast position on centre wing. But you can just see the numbers across half back for Killarney Vale.
Having to chip back to find a target.
Pretty good little chip pass there. That's Vo. Gave it back to Roach. Can they move for him? He goes for Stewart and Avery. Chipping in there was Sinclair. Strong tackle there, late on Schindler Taylor. Umpire's going to have it. Into time on here in the third term. Been quite a flat quarter in terms of the scoring pressure that's been laid on. Killarney Vale have absolutely blown Warners Bay away. Could have been taken a bit low there, Schmaler Looms. Wasn't to be. Vio went in pretty hard. Prendergast is there, but for Killarney Vale, I think it's Castelnuovo on the bottom of that pack. It's going to be a free kick. It is Castelnuovo. It's going to be a free kick to him, I think, for a high tackle. And he goes with that left boot, switches play. Gee, it's a risky kick. But just making it look so easy. He was always going to mark that, Barrett. He gets onto his left side now and goes out to the far wing. Over the head out there of Cartwright. Can Warners Bay get something going late in this term? Deverill. Chipping out further, looking for Turner. Turner with the bullet pass to Stewart. So Stewart at the other end of the ground from where we're used to seeing him. Goes for... might have been Avery out there. Killarney Vale are away through Debnam. Looking down there for Lloyd. Oh, Lloyd just jumped over the top. He looked like he'd nearly grabbed that as well. Players diving in. Probably another stoppage.
Again, the play breaking down for Warners Bay in the middle of the ground, and then Killarney Vale moving it quickly with a high pace straight into their forward 50 with almost a mark to Lloyd.
Kick out of there came from Mahon. Stewart marks it at centre wing. Stewart goes further to Turner. And that pass once again turned over. So Sinclair in the middle of the ground. Just going to chip a ball over the top. That wasn't a good kick. So skill errors really creeping into this game. Roach being one of the better players on the ground. Kicks that one into Nickel. He's got Prendergast running back towards goals. That's who he goes towards. Or maybe Schmaler Looms. Schmaler Looms. Oh, Prendergast. Good mark. We saw him running back towards goal. Kept his eyes on the footy and took a pretty good chest mark in the end.
Yeah, great mark at the back of the pack, running towards goal. Probably not in the best position, but did great from where he was. Prendergast, as he walks down the runway, right in front of goal. He's kicked it into the man on the mark.
Comedy of errors for the doggies today. Lewis ended up getting the clearing kick. Metcalf took a grab. Players not really leading at him. They sort of want it long. He's going to drill a pass, though. Too easy for Shackleton. Avery was his intended target. So he comes out wide, looking for Bailey. Going through hard was Higgins. There is Roach, McLean. Another ball up.
Yeah, as you said, just a comedy of errors, just something that wasn't needed. Just needed to take his time and slot it through.
51 points the margin here. First semi-final. Debnam got himself a bit of time. Kick was smothered by Vo. Coming through hard was Prendergast. That'll be play on, I believe. Play on is the call. It was Young who took possession. Umpire Ashley Borg's going to take the footy and ball it up. Can't be long left here now in the third term.
Nah, almost ticking over to 26 minutes.
It looks like in all likelihood the top three teams through the home away season are going to be the top three remaining. Barring a catastrophe, it will be Killarney Vale to play Terrigal Avoca next week.
With Newcastle City waiting for them in the grand final. And that's a good mark to Buckley.
Yeah, Jeremy Buckley. So can he go back and kick the Bulldogs fourth?
He's been all right up forward today. He's done a couple of good things. But, really hasn't kind of presented as a main target like Lloyd has.
So this will be kicked after the siren. Warners Bay, they've kicked just the 3 goals for the day. Buckley, left foot. Kicks the goal for the doggies. That'll give some hope to them for the final term, and their fans are up and about.
And that goal is brought to you by Star 104.5. Star 104.5 plays the music we love and proudly supports the Black Diamond AFL.
So 3/4 time here at Newcastle #1 Sports Ground, and it's Killarney Vale all in control. 12 goals for 76. The Warners Bay Bulldogs, they're 4 goals, 7-31. 3/4 time here, the winner to play Terrigal Avoca next week in a preliminary final.
Star 104.5 and Black Diamond AFL would like to thank the following sponsors for making it possible to hit the field week in and week out. Wilson Security. Wilson Security is Australia's largest and most innovative security provider. Prime 7. In 2014, Prime 7 has more footy on more nights, live and free. Newcastle Herald. The Newcastle Herald plays an integral part in the hunter community. Star 104.5. Star 104.5 plays the music we all love and proudly supports Black Diamond AFL. BLK. BLK, the official apparel supplier to the Richmond Tigers, Western Bulldogs, GWS Giants, Adelaide Crows, Gold Coast Suns and Brisbane Lions. Belmont 16-Footers Sailing Club. Located on the picturesque Lake Macquarie, Belmont 16s is one of the premier venues in the Hunter region, offering the very best in dining, promotions and entertainment. GE Industrial Solutions, partnering with the mining community in the Hunter for the last 50 years, delivering safe and reliable electrical equipment and engineering services to our customers. Sports Coast Trophy and Embroidery. Sports Coast Trophy are the leading supplier of trophies and embroidery on the Central Coast. Waratah Sports. Waratah Sports has been specialising in sporting equipment, sporting apparel and trophies and medals on the Central Coast for over 20 years. Subway Morisset. Subway Morisset is open 7 days a week, breakfast, lunch and dinner.
Car 33, proceed to level 2, check on its service.
Command, this is Car 33. I'm going on
Don't miss the Wilson Security Black Diamond AFL this weekend. Entry to all games is free. Check out the game times and venues at bdafl.com.au. Black Diamond AFL and Prime 7, your local AFL team.
Big day of footy just about to come to a close. It's final quarter action here in the first semi-final, elimination final between the Bombers and the Bulldogs. And it's been a day that's belonged to Killarney Vale, led by their spearhead forward, Daniel Lloyd. There hasn't been an opponent to play on him. He's kicked 7 goals, and we think about 3 behinds as well. Completely dominated up forward, getting a lot of help from his midfield also. Delivery's been pretty good, and they're just getting their hands on the footy in pretty much every scenario. So final quarter here, the winner to play Terrigal Avoca next week in a prelim final. Newcastle City through to the granny already. Roach kicked it forward for Warners Bay. They got a goal after the siren, courtesy of Buckley. Can they restore a bit of pride here, the Bulldogs? Shmayla Looms is down the bottom of that pack. Also is Roach. Threw it on the left boot, but the goalkeeper, the ever-reliable Brendan Lewis, goes back and takes a pretty easy mark. He switches play, looking for Debnam. Debnam kicks long now out to that centre wing to Ireland, and look at him play on. Ireland, look at that pass. Sensational kick of the footy. Forster's there. Ended up getting the footy back, Forster. Kicked it in now to full forward. Getting there first is Daly. Looks like a good player, Daly. Kicks it into the middle of the ground, looking for Lloyd. Couldn't take the mark there. Playing behind Stewart on that occasion. Well done to Stewart. Lloyd's there. Gets back on his feet. Does the right thing. Handball's back to Amity. Has he kicked a goal? Missed it to the near side.
Lloyd and Ireland combining to kick 10 of the Killarney Vale 12 goals. Lloyd just on fire today.
Yeah.
We do have a Warners Bay player down.
We do.
In 2015, Prime 7 has more footy on more nights, live and free. Prime 7's coverage includes 4 games every round on 7 May, including the marquee Friday and Saturday night matches. Black Diamond AFL and Prime 7, your local AFL team. And GE Industrial Solutions, partnering with the mining community in the Hunter for the past 50 years, delivering safe and reliable electrical equipment and engineering services to our customers, and the proud sponsors of our women's competition. And don't forget, our players' man of the match will get a Subway voucher from Subway Morisset, who's open 7 days a week for breakfast, lunch and dinner. Trading hours are between 7 a.m. and 9 p.m. So get out there and support your local businesses. Subway, eat fresh.
So it looks like it's going to be Lincoln Stewart coming off the ground here. After being down on the ground for probably about a minute or so.
It looks a bit groggy.
They're going to take him straight off the boundary. And it looks like it'll be Pat Quinn to come on. I've liked the game of Quinn. He's tried hard. Killarney Vale here, still setting up their full ground zone. Only the one player in the forward half for Warners Bay. And they elect to play on out of fullback. So out to our broadcast side. The fist came from the Killarney Vale players. Bailey will get there first. He's being worn pretty tightly by Nickel. They jump on him. This will probably be another stoppage. So ball up here, opening stages here of the... So it's going to go the way of Warners Bay for a hold, I believe. It'll go the way of Atkin. Atkin bombs it up in the air, right in front of our broadcast position. Barrett read it beautifully. Put the body into the back of his opponent, who on that occasion was Luke Roach. And coming through hard there was Higgins. It's going to be a downfield free kick. It's going to go the way of Killarney Vale. Silly play there from the Warners Bay boys. He was hit clearly after he kicked the ball there. Mumford?
I'm unsure as what to happen, or what actually happened there. He took the mark and he played on, but yeah, not exactly sure.
So King has it here for Killarney Vale. He's the recipient of the downfield free. Turner just put one arm up in the air. They eventually get it forward back to the centre of the ground, but it's all Killarney Vale as you'd expect. Buckley's the only one remaining for Warners Bay. Bartlett went hard, but Mumford ended up getting the kick across half-back and found his skipper in Lewis. How good and how important is Brendan Lewis going to be next week against Terrigal Avoca? The other person is Daniel Lloyd. How important is he going to be? He's going to probably get played on by either Corbin Bond or Jimmy Hart. Probably Jimmy Hart would go to Lloyd.
Although, from the effort that we saw from Corbin today against Courtney Knight, I mean, Courtney kicked 4 goals on him, but, you know, they weren't easy shots at goal.
Yeah, it's a good point. I think Corbin Bond would have put his hand up and said he wanted to play on Courtney Knight. I certainly thought he was probably broke even with Courtney, despite Courtney, I think, kicking 4 or so.
Yeah.
So now at half forward for Young. Certainly will be an interesting matchup next week. Ireland played on that occasion, had to handball back. Just got so much time to spin around and do as they please. He kicks down to that man, Lloyd. Daniel Lloyd. He'll be point blank range and he'll go back for number 8.
Daniel Lloyd has just had an absolutely sensational game today. I mean, seven goals in 3 quarters is an absolutely brilliant return. And as he lines up for number 8, he's won them the game off his own boot today.
Kicks the goal, Daniel Lloyd. Number 8 for the day. He might have a bit of subway coming his way. And Killarney Vale, they'll meet Terrigal Avoca next week in a prelim final. It's going to be such an interesting matchup who plays on him, because if they're to win, he has to kick, 18 goals. We know that.
Yeah, he has to kick a bag next week to get Killarney Vale over the line, and that goal was brought to you by Waratah Sports. Waratah Sports has been specialising in sporting equipment, sporting apparel, and trophies and medals on the Central Coast for over 20 years.
So 83 now playing 31 in the shadows here at Newcastle number 1. We had the 12 o'clock game today, and then the 2:30 start for this match, and then prior to that even there was a preliminary final in the Women's League. So in the Women's League, it'll be Nelson Bay taking on Newcastle City next week in the grand final.
It's going to be a great game down here at number 1 next week.
Mumford went in. He was held onto for a long time. Probably could have got a free there, Mumford. Play on anyway. How good's Ireland been? He's probably the only one to challenge Lloyd for the award. And over the back, as easy as you like. Guess who? That's Daly.
Yep, it's Daly.
Justin Daly.
Almost thought Lloyd was going to line up for number 9, but
he's a handy footballer as well, Daly. He's already got the 1 goal, but he's done a few nice things. Kicks the goal as Daly. He's second for the day. And Warners Bay now, they're just waiting for that siren to go. They wouldn't be enjoying this at all.
Mikua Kalinda Waters Golf and Spa Resort on the Central Coast. Relax, play, and stay.
Great golf course, Kalinda Waters.
Well, after a great game, a couple of great games, tight, close, great games of footy, this one's been a bit of a blowout. It's No, I wouldn't say a bit disappointing, but yeah, it's taking a bit of sting out of the game now, and it's just kind of both teams going through the motions.
Nice tap there from Atkin down to Roach. Just backed himself. That's holding the ball, though. Good decision, umpire. Certainly there.
Yeah, tried to break too many tackles.
It'll be Curtis to be the recipient. Goes in again. Scrubbers one to Emity at half forward. Goes back to Emity, back to the young ruckman in Lenson. Lenson now down towards full forward. They'll go to Lloyd! Oh, what a mark. Daniel Lloyd, 8 goals to his name. Still a spring in his step. Play of the day.
That's one for his highlight reel.
What a beautiful leap. Write that down. 8 minutes into the fourth quarter. Go home and replay that one, Daniel. That was sensational. If he misses this, I'll be spewing. Lloyd goes back. Oh, he's missed it. Oh, Lloydie. Don't replay that. Watch it from about 8 minutes through to about 8 minutes 40 and then turn it off. He's kicked 8 goals today, Daniel.
And taken mark of the year.
Just looking down at Gary Birkenshort, probably thinking that's play of the day. Risky kick. Ends up in the hands of Burns at fullback. And away they go through Quinn.
I'd have to say Lloyd's probably kicked he's kicked goal of the year with his snapper from the boundary, and he's taken mark of the year as well in the same game.
Nice goal, wasn't it, down there? We got it on camera, did we, boys? Sinclair, drop that mark out there on the far wing. So 90 playing 31. It's a 59-point margin, a 10-goal win to the Bombers. They've had it all their own way from the start of the match. Barrett's got it here at centre-half back. They were up and about Warners Bay. They certainly backed themselves before the game, but just about from the get-go, they were never really up to it. Metcalf kicks to nobody. Lewis chipping in. Gee, that's a risky kick, though, from the skipper. Edwards does well, was clean. Gives it off to Barrett. He's had a pretty good game, Barrett. He goes further more inside. Kick just missed the mark there. Warners Bay might get a chance here. That's a holding free. It's going to go the way of Aman. So Aman off one step. Atkin. Had a good year, Atkin. Can hold his head up high. Played in the representative fixture earlier in the year. And no eyes for the footy there from Crotty. It's going to be a free kick every day of the week to Ryan Barrett. So Barrett, he's a good left foot kick of the footy. He'll certainly be an important player. Next week taking on Terrigal. McLean just kicks it, pops it up into the goal, into the centre square. Ball comes to ground. They force a draw to be another ball up. Terrigal, after today's loss, they'll go in red hot, unbackable favourites against Killarney Vale. They've had, I think, at least 3, maybe 4 big wins over Killarney Vale this season, all in excess of 10 goals. Ireland breaks away from the pack. He goes out for Lloyd. Have a shot, Lloydie. Gets back onto his right foot. He won't on that occasion. Gives it to Daly. Daly snaps around his shoulder. It's going to fall just short. Did pretty well to trap it, but it was good work there by Spinks. Chipped inside to Amity. Playing was the call. Got on his left side. Did Drano. Kicked a goal. Drano, Amity. They're going to go deep in finals again, Killarney Vale. Amity kicks his first. Killarney Vale continue on their merry way.
Yeah, and that goal was brought to you by South Coast Trophy. South Coast Trophy are the leading supplier of trophies and embroidery on the Central Coast. They are also proud supporters of the Black Diamond AFL.
Sorry to correct you, Nathan. Sports Coast, mate.
I've done that twice today, haven't I?
That's all right. Sports Coast. As long as we correct it, they'll be happy with the sponsor reads.
Might have to pop down and buy
was
a
it a
couple of
goal
trophies.
or what? What's going on here? Someone's got the footy.
I am unsure.
So they're going to count that goal plus.
So Daniel Lloyd lining up for number 9.
So Daniel Lloyd's going to get a free kick. The goal's going to count. And Lloyd will go back and kick goal number 9. Can he get to the magic double figures? I'm going to back him in. Daniel Lloyd kicks goal number 9. And Killarney Vale, an absolute thrashing in a semi-final.
Yeah, that takes us to 96 points. They could hit the triple figures.
I think that might actually take them to 102. I reckon that's the 17th goal. We'll wait and see confirmation from the big scoreboard here at number 1. Andy Statman Baldwin's operating it up there today. We do. We have 102 as the total score. So it's 16 goals, is it? 16-6, 102. 4-7-31 Warners Bay. Daniel Lloyd, 9 goals. Get it down to him. McLean. Little chip pass. No, umpire's going to bring it back here. There's ample time for him to do it as well.
Yeah. It's a free kick to Warners Bay.
So Crotty's got it in the middle of the ground. Goes straight up the guts. Pretty good jump at it down there by, might have been Shmela Looms. Getting it back was Prendergast. They've got a chance here, Warners Bay. Down there's Avery. Can they jag a late goal? They can't. Gee, they made a bit of a meal of that.
But the bounce of the footy, we know that that's something unique about our game, AFL. That it just didn't bounce for him.
Lewis. Handball back to Debnam. Goes out further wide to Ireland. Ireland's been unreal today. Going through hard was Mumford. Ireland gets another possession. He's probably had at least 20, 25 of those. Ashley Borg's going to have it. Ball out half-back flank. Certainly didn't see this scoreline coming. The Bombers will go in. They'll take on Terrigal Avoca next week. The winner to play Newcastle City. And it'll have to be a massive reversal of form for either of those sides to take on Newcastle City in 2 weeks' time.
Yeah, no. I mean, Terrigal Avoca losing the last home and away game to Newcastle City, and then Newcastle City getting the win against them again today. Killarney Vale with the big win over Warners Bay, hopefully going with a lot of confidence. As that's a mark to Buckley.
Yeah, so Buckley's been pretty active up forward in the second half. Kicked a goal after the siren there right on three-quarter time.
Yeah, he stepped up when we said that someone needed to, but just really hasn't kind of had a running partner like Ireland has kind of been to Lloyd.
So Buckley, left foot kick of the ball, just stabs at it. But does he get the result? No, he doesn't.
No.
One behind. So Barrett doing the kicking in, the huddle. They're still operating that huddle. I think he might have gone out of the square there.
Yeah, no. Ball's being brought back for a baller.
Should never do that. I don't understand the point. Why would you get a centimetre from it even? Kick it from a metre back from the line.
Yeah, stay well clear of it.
Anyway, Warners Bay, an opportunity here to score. Shmela Looms up against Lenson. Shmela Looms taps it back into the hot spot. Killarney Vale taking possession though, and they'll clear it out of here, out of half back. Turner could have been held on that occasion by Daly. Beg your pardon, by Young.
Unlucky for that to have rolled out.
And I can't believe what I'm seeing. Is this Daniel Lloyd? He's got 9 goals. Put him back on the ground.
He's being dragged.
We're going to have a word to the Killarney Vale. It goes forward. Shmela Looms down there battling with Cartwright. Ends up coming back into the hands of, I think it was Crawley, the ruckman. And now Bailey. So Bailey's got it out. Kicks it out towards the centre wing looking for Mumford.
They're away again.
Good mark there by Mumford. Just protected the space there in front of Deverell. Mumford goes to centre half forward. Emity's going to have to commit here. That's a free kick. Yeah, a bit of a ridiculous jump at the footy there from Jake Roach.
And he's hurt him in the process.
And Drano Emity was just sitting under that ball. Looks like he got a knee fair to the kidneys or somewhere in the lower back. Looks a little bit ginger. Pardon that pun. The kick wasn't a great one from Emity. And Crotty has it now at centre half back for Warners Bay. Goes out far, but it was just he split his two teammates, and it was Tom Mumford who chipped in for an easy mark. They put Daniel Lloyd on ice. I cannot believe they've done that. He's kicked 9 goals. That is cruel. Anyway, Turner takes a pretty easy chest mark at fullback. Switches the ball across. Buckley, little handball over the top to Spinks. Spinks just too fumbly. Tackled off the footy out there was Daly. Might get it back here, Daly. He does. Kicking down in there looking for, might be Marn who clears the footy. What a great year he's had, Marn. Certainly one of the favourites to end up in the Team of the Year named on Wednesday night. Cartwright ends up with Brendan Lewis. Goes further back again. And eventually out to this far wide. They've swung it across the whole ground. So Mumford, they could have gone again. They won't. He's just going to bomb it up. Castelnuovo, but it was a pretty good grab back there taken by Burns. Handballed off to Turner. He had his head taken off.
It was a bit of a scrubby kick, but yeah. Had his head taken clean off.
So Avery's got the footy. You'd assume he'd be too far out to score. Gives a little handball back to Roach. He lines them up. Gee, it's a nice kick from Roach. Oh, it was going through a goalpost height. Hit the woodwork in the end.
That's the second time he's hit the post this game.
Yeah. Barrett with the quick kick in. Eventually through Edwards and then Brendan Lewis and then Debnam and back to Lewis. Just using it by hand here. Debnam. Now kicking towards centre wing. Not a great kick on that occasion. Spinks takes the mark. Puts it straight back inside. Lenson just put the one arm up. Little tap over the top. Schmaler Looms is there. Didn't take possession. Was a pretty good tap though. Lenson goes in again. Avery's there. Who else is there for Warners Bay? Can they jag a late goal? They probably won't on this occasion. McLean comes through centre half back and goes out to the far wing. And the mark taken out there by, might be Mackenzie Ford. Goes back to McLean. Debnam. Goes now to centre half forward. No mark taken. Mumford, he's been super active. Lenson again. Schindler Taylor wearing him like a glove. Shackleton, Brendan Lewis. Another big game for him. Big numbers for him.
Bit of to and fro in the middle of the ground here, but it's all a little too late for Warners Bay.
I think it's way too late for Warners Bay. The game was over just about by halfway through the second term. They may get a late consolation goal here. I think it might be Avery out there. It is. So into time on here. This is the first semi-final. It'll be Killarney Vale to take on Terrigal Avoca next Saturday at this ground for a place in the grand final to take on Newcastle City. Avery goes back.
It's a lovely
It's a good finish there from Chris Avery. He kicks his first goal for the match. All single goal kickers for Warners Bay. It was always going to be a tough ask for them to find a spear forward to kick it back today. On the other end, Daniel Lloyd has 9, and they've put him on ice.
And that goal was brought to you by Wilson Security. Wilson Security is Australia's largest and most innovative security provider, delivering a wide range of services to a diverse range of customers. For all your security needs, call Wilson Security on 1300 Wilson.
Great sponsor, Wilson Security. Good tap on that occasion by Crawley. Ends up with Castelnuovo. They go forward again. Going in hard, Bailey. Tackled by Marn. It's going to be a free kick to Mann. I think it might have been for holding the ball. So Matt Mann, terrific season for him. Not such a terrific kick on that occasion.
Disappointing kick again.
Pretty easy mark taken by Higgins. He switches up play, goes to Lewis. Goes for Bailey in the middle. Roach jumps straight over him. McLean's there. Little underground kick was looking for Cartwright. Couldn't take clean possession. Buckley's down there. He's going to get run down from behind. Buckley, he is holding the ball.
It's a lovely tackle there.
And that's Mackenzie Ford in the 49. Rewarded there with the tackle. Crawley. Handball over the top. And eventually ends up with Avery. So Avery on centre wing. Plays on immediately. Has a bounce out in front of us, although it doesn't work out all that well. Gets around Cartwright. Handball over the top is a pretty good one. Just bowled Deverell. Bailey went back. Here's Buckley. Schindler Taylor. Handball to no one. Higgins. Bailey. Went back again. Mumford. Good play, Killarney Vale. Switches into the middle. Brendan Lewis. He's probably had 30 kicks.
Yeah, off that half-back line, all the Killarney Vale players have had an absolute field day today.
Wouldn't surprise me if he got in the best again. Now with Bailey. Just handballed it to no one. A lot of skill errors here. Avery. Back to Roach. Roach. I think he was going for goal, but Brendan Lewis just read it beautifully. Dropped back. Chipped it over the top to Edwards.
Yeah, goalkeeper Lewis again. Back there in the last line of defence. So we've had some cracking games of football in the finals today, and there's a whole lot more finals being played tomorrow out at Killarney Vale's Adelaide Street Oval.
Yeah. First and second division finals, absolutely.
Some really good and really interesting games in that.
So Mumford has it here in the middle of the ground. Killarney Vale to take on Terrigal Avoca. They'll be tough to beat Terrigal Avoca. They know that Killarney Vale. And he's been paid the mark down there as Daly. He may kick after the siren here. 102 plays 39. They've kicked 16 goals, Killarney Vale, to just 5 for Warners Bay.
It sounds impressive when you said they've kicked 16 goals, but 9 of those are the one player. Oh, he shanked it.
Exactly right. Misses to the left on that occasion. Mann kicking in there. Just boots it long. It's a good leg for late in the game. He was going for Deverell. Down there was Nickel. He was held. Is that a free? Yep. Good decision. Very well umpired today as well by the men in green. Must be said.
Yeah, I've been very impressed with them today.
In both games. Thought they umpired superbly. Ball goes out of play. It'll be a boundary throw-in out there. They finished 4th this year. Warners Bay, 1 position better than last year. Certainly a few positives. They'd want to be keeping this group together. And that'll do it. Killarney Vale go through. They will play Terrigal Avoca next week in a preliminary final. They win today to the tune of 16-7, 103. Warners Bay, their season's over. They were 5-9, 39. Congratulations to them. They finished 4th. However, that'll be the end of the season. And if you've just tuned in, Newcastle City were victorious today. They'll be playing off in a grand final. In 2 weeks' time, they go straight through. Who are the goal kickers today, please, Nathan?
Okay, so for Killarney Vale, big Daniel Lloyd up front, kicked a bag of 9. We were a bit disappointed that he got taken off because we wanted him to kick the magical 10, but couldn't get there. Jackson Island kicked 3 with Justin Daly kicking 2 and singles to Dane Amity and Ryan King. While for Warners Bay, all single goal kickers to Jake Roach, Scott Bartlam, Chris Avery, Leo Vo and Jeremy Buckley.
Just looking at some of the better players, a few honourable mentions to the boys from Warners Bay. I thought Jake Roach tried all day, as he always does. Matt Spinks was pretty good when he got the footy. Chris Avery was active up forward. Matt Mann, once again, across halfback, super reliable. Thought Pat Quinn was pretty good in patches also. Just going down the list here. Atkin rucked pretty well. Buckley chipped in with a few goals. For the victorious Killarney Vale side, thought Barrett was really good across half-back. Brendan Lewis, he would have had 30 possessions once again. As we go down the list here, Jackson Island, for me, was probably the second best player on the ground. Thought Trent Demden was pretty good as well. But the best on ground, without a shadow of a doubt, with 9 goals, the Subway Morisset man of the match will go to Daniel Lloyd. And I get a feeling with his big grab, Nathan, that he'll probably win the play of the day as well with a big mark. Unfortunately, he missed that one. He probably kicked 4 or 5 points.
Yeah, he missed that easy one, which would have been the magical goal number 10. But yeah, you can't beat that mark. That was absolutely sensational.
It was at the 8-minute mark of the final term.
Yes, we want to look at about 8 minutes 30 till about 8 minutes 45. You don't want to watch any further on.
So congratulations to Killarney Vale. Just to repeat one more time, they'll play Terrigal Avoca next week in a preliminary final. The winner of that match will play Newcastle City in the grand final the following week. Commiserations to Warners Bay. Well done on a great season. On behalf of myself, Ryan Webster, and Nathan Tyman, we'll see you next week. Thanks for tuning in.
Star 104.5 and Black Diamond AFL would like to thank the following sponsors for making it possible to hit the field week in and week out. Wilson Security. Wilson Security is Australia's largest and most innovative security provider. Prime 7. In 2014, Prime 7 has more footy on more nights, live and free. Newcastle Herald. The Newcastle Herald plays an integral part in the hunter community. Star 104.5. Star 104.5 plays the music we all love and proudly supports Black Diamond AFL. BLK. BLK, the official apparel supplier to the Richmond Tigers, Western Bulldogs, GWS Giants, Adelaide Crows, Gold Coast Suns and Brisbane Lions. Belmont 16-Footers Sailing Club. Located on the picturesque Lake Macquarie, Belmont 16s is one of the premier venues in the Hunter region, offering the very best in dining, promotions and entertainment. GE Industrial Solutions, partnering with the mining community in the Hunter for the last 50 years, delivering safe and reliable electrical equipment and engineering services to our customers. Sports Coast Trophy and Embroidery. Sports Coast Trophy are the leading supplier of trophies and embroidery on the Central Coast. Waratah Sports. Waratah Sports has been specialising in sporting equipment, sporting apparel and trophies and medals on the Central Coast for over 20 years. Subway Morisset. Subway Morisset is open 7 days a week, breakfast, lunch and dinner.
Car 33, proceed to level 2, check on its service.
Command, this is Car 33. I'm going on my break.
We have a visual.
Don't miss the Wilson Security Black Diamond AFL this weekend. Entry to all games is free. Check out the game times and venues at bdafl.com.au. Black Diamond AFL and Prime 7, your local AFL team.